at least how shitty the situation is if they're living in it, don't necessarily figure out where the problem's coming from.
Feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown adults. My oldest is 28, my youngest is 25. And I thought by teaching them what I learned, which is you work hard, you get a good job, you're going to get the things in life that you need, right? Worked for me, why wouldn't it work for them? Because it doesn't. Because the world has changed, all right? And now I feel like I see them struggling. And before my generation comes out, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggle, but there's a difference between struggling and drowning, all right? So we struggled and it was tough, but you know what? We made it. We knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel with our struggle. It seems like kids today, no matter how much they struggle, they just get further and further down the water into the drowning point.
She's spitting, but this is, again, a Fox News video. So let's see how she ties this back to voting for Trump and how Biden is the reason why you're struggling. And there is some truth to why Biden is the reason why you're struggling, except Trump is not the solution. As a matter of fact, Trump made the problem significantly worse than Biden did. If we're looking at Trump v. Biden, if we're looking at Democrats v. Republicans, I hate the Democratic Party for their negligence. I hate the Democratic Party for being feckless cowards. I hate the Democratic Party for being controlled opposition, but they are controlled opposition to the other side that is significantly worse and are very openly making the situation worse. So remember that.
When I was their age, I was making less than $10 an hour, and I could afford to live on my own. Now you have to be making six-figure salary to get a decent, tiny little place to live. I told my son, all you have to do is work hard, go to college, or join the military like I did. He went to college, got his degree, got a full-time job. He moved back in with me right when he graduated from college because he said, hey, Mom, as soon as I get a job, which was within 2 weeks of him getting out of college.
Yeah, join the military. I was wondering what she did where she feels like she, was able to succeed. And there it is. The only type of social spending done in this fucking country, and even that part is being limited now due to austerity in every aspect of governance, is the military. Hey guys, do you want to live as though you're existing in a European social democracy? Yeah, just throw your fucking body at the American war machine. That way, you at least, if you're really unlucky or really lucky, might get a fucking a decent amount of health care paid for by the government. That way, you could potentially pay for your education. Sick. Awesome. And even then it's not enough, obviously. Even then it's not enough, but at least it's like a little bit closer to a social democracy. America's like, yeah, we'll give you the provisions. We'll give you the social safety nets to a certain degree that resembles like a European existence. You just have to get PTSD and, try not to kill yourself all the time. After that, as long as you can avoid killing yourself, then you're fine. You get some of it, not all of it. And even then, they've shut off that money faucet too.
Maybe take me 2 months and I'll save up enough money for me to move out. Okay, cool. It's been 10 months. He has saved almost every dime and still can't afford to live. Why are one-bedroom studio apartments almost $2,000 a month? Why? I just don't get it. So I don't even think that there's even classes anymore. There used to be, upper class, middle class, lower class. It's literally turning into the ultra wealthy and then everybody else is just poor.
She's right. Holy moly. I cannot believe Fox News covered this. That's awesome. I'm shocked that Fox News posted this. I was wrong. I thought because Fox News posted this that she was going to be talking about Bidenflation or Bidenomics or whatever the fuck, and I was wrong.
The Washington Post recently suggested in the front page article, I think it's front page, that, quote, Republicans may have to find something else to criticize Biden for now that inflation is coming down. I'm sure they'll find something.
Damn, they couldn't even fucking clap that much for him saying that inflation is coming down. We talked about this before. Inflation is coming down for consumer goods that are inside of the CPI. That part is true. However, things that you need for survival, like medical care, things that you need for survival, like shelter, specifically rent, well, these things are not going down. Which is precisely the reason why, no matter what happens, Americans are not going to experience what Biden is claiming is happening. That's one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is even if inflation was going down, it still takes a long time for people to start recognizing that. So Biden pushing for Bidenomics as like one of the weaker aspects of his presidency, especially the longest weakness of his presidency, is a wild choice. I am actually shocked because the Biden camp at least has like some competent people. They do legitimately have like, you know, old school consultants that have a better understanding of how to run a decent campaign. So I don't know why they're like, oh yeah, remember that one aspect that has been genuinely devastating for a lot of Americans for the longest part of my 4-year presidential time in office? We're going to say that that's a good thing, actually, and we'll make you believe it. When all matter of polling shows that people do not feel that way, even if it's objectively true. The Inflation Reduction Act was the red flag that corporations saw to rein in their greedflation, which, by the way, is real. Remember everybody saying to me
Show
and
me that
all of
loot.
us that greedflation, which is corporations keeping prices high even
Show me
after
that
the
loot.
supply chain issues were
Yes.
fixed because of their corporate greed, and were only able to do it because of so much corporate consolidation, was fake. Hassan, this is
Thanks, bro.
idealistic nonsense. You're out of your mind. That's not how
Thanks
this
for the
works.
moose shit.
It's the free market, the invisible hand. It dictated them. Look at this graph. Now, those very same Pulitzer Prize-winning economists are also kind of signaling that maybe that was the case. If you think that like Americans are gonna have like a Maoist peasants uprising, you're delusional. The American working class doesn't even see themselves as like actual working class individuals. They cannot align on class
Not gonna
interests
make that.
ever. Until the middle class is affected by bad economic policies, nothing will get done. The middle class is being affected by bad economic policies. What do you think the K-shaped recovery after COVID was? The lowest of the lowest poverty class gets like some noticeable increases in their salaries, which still is not enough to compete with inflation, and therefore they're still seeing a decrease in wages. But the tippy top of the capital owning class sees major profits. What is that? That's an evisceration of the middle class. It's already happening. Why are so many people with six-figure salaries are living paycheck to paycheck? Once coveted six-figure salaries are struggling to keep up with today's cost
that
of
treasure
living, with more than
chest?
half of the people who are making six figures still living paycheck to paycheck, reflected in a new study. As rampant inflation pervades the economy, with it still sitting at 6% in February, the study done by the financial advice company Smart Asset acknowledges that even high earners are struggling to build wealth, especially in pricier cities. You guys want to guess why? I mean, you already know why. Exactly. It's fucking rent. Every additional dollar amount that you make goes directly into the pocket of your landlord. Landlords are like, oh, thank God. So sick. Thank you so much for getting a
Oh,
raise.
side quest? What up?
So I can fucking farm you even harder. Smart Ass's new study, researchers calculated income tax on 100,000, taking it into account at the federal, state, and local level to find earners' is real take-home pay in 76 of the largest cities around the U.S. using 2022 data on the cost of living prices in the cities from the Council for Community and Economic Research. They analyzed how much purchasing power earners truly have. Cost of living indexes include average prices of housing, groceries, utilities, transportation. The study found the worst places to live for people who earn $100,000. After taxes and adjusted for cost of living, $100,000 amounts to just $35,000 in New York, $36,000 in Honolulu, $36,000 in San Francisco, and $44,000 in Washington, D.C., $44,000 in Long Beach and Los Angeles, California. Using the same metrics, the best cities to live for people who earn $100,000 are Memphis, Tennessee, El Paso, Texas, Oklahoma City. In Memphis, thanks to the cost of living, which is 14% lower than the national average, $100,000 is worth $86,000. 7 cities where six figures goes the furthest were in Texas, credited to low cost of living combined with no state income tax. Oh, it's not the cost of living, guys, or it's not the rent, it's actually the taxes. I take it back, I was wrong. It's the taxes that are the problem. Zippia's data also shows that 56% of Americans believe that earning $100,000 per year would make them rich. But Zippia notes that a $100,000 salary is generally considered upper middle class today
The
rather
fuck
than
is going
rich,
on?
and even be lower middle class in some cities. Median U.S. salary in 2022 was $44,225, which raises major concerns if Americans earning more than double that amount are struggling. Smart Asset shares some advice for six-figure earners, such as suggesting that they max out their retirement account. I work in the automotive industry and I take home less than 50% of my paycheck. 50% of renters in the U.S. are cost burdened, paying more than 30% of their income. Yeah, good stuff. That black people are intellectually inferior or inherently criminal. The trick here is that the racial gaps are well known, but explaining the cause of racial gaps is immensely complicated because the life paths of socially differentiated groups are so different. He waves away all of that and says the lesser races are just born stupid. Obviously, just true. Look at all the blue check marks. Is it racist or an inconvenience? The inconvenient truth is that you're a pathetic loser who paid $8 a month to get like a little bit of an algorithm boost that makes you feel better about yourself, especially because your life is a litany of fucking failures, and that's why you have to go back to like some kind of racial purity metric to make yourself feel good, because all of the future that was promised to you, whether it be the American dream or even making a little bit more than your fucking white parents, was very quickly stolen from you. So now you have to go back into your mythology and engage in myth making in an effort to feel that sense of entitlement and what was actually stolen from you. The promise that you would be the dominant white person, you would be the superior person. That's it. That's what it is. That's what a lot of this like race purgatory comes from. The notion that the understandable notion that either
What the
an
fuck?
incredible wrong has been committed on your people that you that has never been healed. Racial wounds.
All
have
right,
never been
all right,
healed.
hold on,
So you look
buddy.
for like alternative history. That's how you arrive at like Black Israelite theory and whatnot. Or you're an entitled person that society was designed around, and you still did not succeed in the way that you thought you would. And as your material conditions are worsening, you look for, you desperately try to find a moment in history that you mythologize, even if it's not related to you in any way, shape, or form, to make it seem like, you know, you were a Viking god at some point, and you still maybe are. That's it. It's no different than shifting. Like, you know, we talk about Zoomers and shit. We're like, Zoomers are shifting to Hogwarts. Zoomers are going to, you know, fuck Draco Malfoy or whatever. And it's like, well, these guys are shifting into Viking mythology. You know what I mean? They think they're fucking Vikings. Like, brother, you are not a Norse warrior. Okay? This is basically describing how fascism manifests and gets to those types of people. Yes, that is precisely what I'm saying. Because that is how fascism manifests. I know. I've written a lot on this. I have read a lot on this. I've talked a lot on this. Like, this is something that I've been talking about for years, and unfortunately, it's back. It's super back. I mean, it never really goes away.
Oh,
but it's like even more
shit.
back than it was before, you know? Same for the dudes on Twitter that think they're Greek philosophers. No, exactly. That is precisely what it is, the same exact thing. It's the same thing that Nazis did. You know, esoteric runes and Nordic mythos they added on to their you know, shared cultural perspective and history. These guys are appropriating Delulu from the girly pops. The only thing they have in common with Greek philosophers is that they're both pedophiles. Well, that too. That is the wildest part about it, is that they're not even using like a whitewashed version of that. They're just straight up like defending the pedophilia aspect as well. That's what I've seen from some of these like new extreme right-wing guys, which is very odd. Very, very, very odd. I don't know why you think that you should not be ashamed of that kind of mentality, and you are like openly promoting it. It's like painting Joseph Smith as a treasure hunter as opposed to a guy who pillaged Indian burial grounds, a whitewashed version of the truth. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to take this back to our boy Johnny Harris, but I don't believe that Johnny Harris made a video that is like pro-Mormon. More news about Twitter becoming the preferred platform for Nazi pedophiles. Oh, this is awesome. I sent this to Alexa this morning. So Twitter executives went and defended restoring an account
All right, let's go.
that shared child sex abuse material. This is a Forbes.com article. There was a congressional hearing in Australia, in the Australian Parliament, late Wednesday, and executives at X, the company formerly known as Twitter, testified in front of the Parliament, and they defended the restoration of an X account after it shared child sexual abuse material in late July. The incident attracted widespread attention because the X owner Elon Musk personally intervened to reinstate the account after a violation that would normally result in a permanent ban from the social media platform. Nick Pickles. What am I doing? What is Nick Pickles? Nick Pickles. That's his name. Like from the Rugrats. Tommy Pickles. Nick Pickles. Really? You got that guy as the head of global development affairs? Yeah, I'm Pickle Nick. Oh my god, okay. Turn myself into a pickle! Okay. Nick Pickles,
Fuck, why does he keep attacking
skip that part.
the
One of
snake? I want to
challenges
attack the
we
bird.
see Is, for example, people sharing this content out of outrage because they want to raise awareness of an issue and see something in the media. Pickles testified according to an audio live stream. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's watch it. The Twitter exec seemed to suggest it was fine to share child sex abuse material out of outrage or to raise awareness. Needless to say, there's nothing in the Twitter terms of service that says it's fine to share child sex abuse material if you're doing it out of outrage.
We have zero tolerance to the content, but we may, in the view of the account itself, reflection isn't the important response. Accounts dedicated to distributing, accounts engaging with this.
Shit, get out!
Off Twitter, off X as fast as possible, but there are cases globally.
Oh, accounts dedicated to sharing child sex abuse we don't want.
Fuck,
But if
the
it's
little
like a one-off
ads.
and you got real fucking horny or real angrily horny, you know what I mean? Then it's like fine, I guess. I love that this guy is literally talking about the distribution of child pornography, and he's about to hit that with a butt. Okay? Let's see what he has to say.
Off Twitter, off X as fast as possible, but there are cases globally where people do share this content out of outrage. And in those cases, we do look at whether removing the content is the appropriate response.
Well, I'm sorry, but if I'm outraged by some content, I'm not going to share that to make the point. But what I would do is, if I am a consumer of that type of material, you're now just saying, if I just share that in the pretense that I'm outraged, that's okay. It's a crime.
This, by the way, quite literally goes against prior Twitter policy and prior policy that is widely shared online. This kind of content is unacceptable in any setting. Okay? In any setting, it's literally a crime. If you want to completely destroy safe harbor provisions, this is what you do. Okay? You will globally eviscerate any kind of safe harbor laws you had if you start picking and choosing what kind of child pornography posting is appropriate. Okay? Are you fucking insane? We've talked about this before. CP and sharing CP is not only profoundly illegal, but in an effort to combat it on websites oftentimes, okay, they will hit the highest version of security protections where, like, even if you share it in a DM, you're done. Your account is fucking banned. We know this only because, what was it? There was a story that was
God damn it.
hit with that level of protection. Was it the Hunter Biden stuff?
I gotta hit
forget
his-
what
the
it
bottom
was,
of his
but there was
body.
something that, like,
Some loot.
there was something that that either was like Hunter Biden's cock that got that level of protection, or it might have been the New York Post story about Hunter. You couldn't even send it in DM. The idea that, like, Elon Musk saying that he came on this website, he bought the website to, like, eviscerate pedophiles, while simultaneously his head
Shit,
of
too
global
late.
affairs is, like, defending some child pornography.
Oh, I was just gonna
spread
hit him
is
with my
insane
special.
to me.
And it should be suspended permanently. There is no excuse whether you're posting something through outrage, which to me just is not logical, that your account should not be permanently suspended. You can see why we don't have a lot of faith and trust in what you're telling us here today.
And certainly this is something that we do see regularly. Again, to use an example from the terrorist space, it's not the exact same, but similarly, after the Christchurch attack, the majority of people sharing that video were actually sharing it to call outrage, to express sympathy. This is actually quite a significant problem. When you look at the research from groups like the Internet Watch Foundation.
Yeah, that's why you fucking clap the main person who posted it. What are you talking about? Are you saying it's a larger problem? What the fuck? Bro, this guy should go to jail. Actually, what the fuck? Elon should go to jail. Fuck this guy.
Be suspended anyway. There is no excuse for resharing that sort of material, whether it's related to terrorism or whether it's child exploitation. If somebody's sharing that material, they're still sharing it. why they do that, they should be suspended. That's the only way if you're going to enable people to have confidence of what's happening.
Bro, it's wild that Elon Musk's proposal on this was calmer than like Ethan making fun of him with a parody account. Ethan Klein made a fucking parody account of Elon Musk and got banned for like a month. This dude got personally restored by Elon after sharing child pornography. It was like a right-wing QAnon account. What the fuck? And also, wait. Am I crazy, or was this also the guy who had child predation in his background too, personally? Yet another QAnon guy, like a high-profile QAnon guy. Fuck, what was it? Yeah,
Fuck.
what is it?
Get the fuck back here, bitch.
The Dom Lucre or whatever? Isn't that the guy? Am I crazy? Am I making this up? I might be mistaken him with another psychotic guy. A lot of... No, it is Dom Lucre, but I don't know if he had a background, like if he got actually arrested. No, this is the account that he restored, the account that actually posted the
All right.
apparently
Oh, shit.
the same shit found on
Big guy.
Charles Duggar's
Almost forgot about him.
Like one of the most infamous cases of child pornography. I wonder how that account got a hold of some of the footage. Very interesting. That dude also got Twitter ad revenue. Fucking shit. Yeah, he posted it on Twitter, and a bunch of his
Damn it.
followers reposted it. My man posted child pornography.
All right. Hold
Twitter ad
on.
revenue.
Let's get a
restored his account and deleted
get
the
calm down
CD and
here.
restored his account. Okay, that's what happened. This is a real thing that happened. I tweeted about it back when it happened, and now from that fallout, there was an understandable, CSAM, child sexual abuse material is the technical term for it. That's what he had posted.
Shit.
Which is highly illegal to have on your hard drives. It is highly and understandably illegal to distribute it, to show it to other people. But because he said, oh man, he
Damn
posted
it.
about it angrily, that it was fine to restore his account. He got banned. Elon personally unbanned him and deleted the post. That's it. That's what he did. It's kind of weird that like this is not world breaking news, by the way. That's what's wild to me about this situation, is that like a lot of people here didn't even know about it, even though I've covered it before. Obviously I haven't. I mean, here, Jordan Peterson. It's getting just impossible to find child porn. Yeah, guess what, dude? Don't worry, Jordan. It's not impossible. You can say we don't have a lot of faith and trust in what you're saying here today, said the Senator Poley. Linda Yucario says, by all objective metrics, X is a much healthier and safer platform than it was a year ago.
Hate, and there's a lot of vitriol and conspiracy.
It goes beyond the hate and vitriol. We're talking about child pornography at this point.
Those attract a lot of eyeballs too. It's a real brand and a business. Why would you feel safe advertising?
I think that's an appropriate question.
Wait, I killed him already?
Some of the headline
Where's...
comments
Oh,
and
shit.
phrases, need to be continually.
Oh, you're right.
Gotta
The
destroy
guy
me.
that was
What the
outed-
fuck?
The guy that was outed for being a pedophile was Maj Toure 999.
Shit.
Brought to light and debunked, and I'm glad you asked. But
Fuck.
I want to be clear. For almost 11 years, my previous experience was at NBC.
Fuck.
And a large part of my remit was overseeing all the advertising revenue and partnerships with the company. And our number one social partner was Twitter. And Twitter was safe, and we felt comfortable always being there. And
Not all brands, but a lot of them.
okay, hang on, I'm going. I hear you. And I want to take that last 10 years and put it in perspective. Because by all objective metrics, X is a much healthier.
The fuck is that
safer
sandstorm
platform
attacking me?
than it was a year ago. Since acquisition,
Fuck.
we have built brand
Fuck,
safe
man.
and
God
content
damn it.
moderation tools that have never existed before.
Oh, that shit is hard. That is a long battle. Holy shit.
Specific point.
Let me tell you a little bit about that. Here it is. Chuds of TikTok says pedocon theory remains undefeated. Someone made a list of some of the big conservative accounts that did not pass this CSE test. Dom Lucre was suspended for posting child porn, but quickly reinstated by Elon. Let's take a look at some of the big
Alright,
replies from
let's
big
start
Twitter
this
accounts that
over.
claim to be all about saving the children and ending human trafficking. When posting child exploitation material, just use special filters. Elon responded, only people on our CSE team have seen those pictures. For now, we will delete those posts and reinstate the account. The red-headed libertarian. Thank you. Dom should use special filters to protect the children moving forward. Protecting the children by posting child porn. Yeah, just put it under a special filter. This person says, will posting child porn affect his ability to make money? Will he lose his subs and ability to earn money on the platform? This person says, and wokeness, another account. Thank you. Can we just get rid of account bans altogether? Just stop banning accounts. That will definitely be better for combating child porn, especially banning accounts in this context, banning accounts that post child porn. Thank you, Elon, says Gunther Eagleman, which sounds like an insane name. Dom Lucre is a legit gift. Tip, if trolled by a liberal fuck on here, Twitter, reply okay groomer, then block. Great stuff, man. It's awesome. Great stuff. That's what this fucking website has turned into. Here, the reason for the suspension should be shown, along with the ability to appeal quickly and easily. Only people on our CSE team have seen those pictures. For now, we will delete the post and reinstate the account. Thank you. Can we just get rid of account bans altogether? Surely some accounts deserve to be banned. Posts can be taken down if they violate the TOS, but not accounts. I'm not shocked that this account is dying on the hill of posting child pornography should be okay. Yeah, that's end wokeness, by the way. Making tens of thousands of dollars directly out of Elon's pockets for all of the delicious white supremacist nonsense that they have posted. Madness, dude. Absolute fucking madness.
ECOWAS military leaders are potentially making a plan for the possible invasion of Niger, which is interesting. Huh. West African defense chiefs have drawn up a plan for potential military intervention if Niger's coup is not overturned by the weekend. Okay. What does this mean? I don't even know what's going on over there. Okay, hold on. ECOWAS map. So, Niger, which is a very populous country in West Africa, recently had a little oopsie doodle. They had a little bit of a coup. And ECOWAS,
little whoopsie.
which is an economic collaboration between a number of West African states, is a bit upsetty spaghetti over this, largely because ECOWAS is trying to build a sort of trade bloc that deals with the world and often the West, whereas right now Niger is controlled by a military coup that is looking to do more like pan-Arabist economic protectionist,
I can do this.
deal with Russia, not the West kind of stuff, you know? Here we go. Wow, that's a lot of pixels. So, ECOWAS, which is represented by all of these countries except for Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, because Burkina Faso and Mali have also broken trend, are potentially going to invade, which would be wacky, which would be interesting. A lot of wacky stuff potentially happening here, you know. Cool. Here, it's less horrible to look at. Are these Arab countries? These are West African countries. The junta leaders just met with Wagner in Mali. Oh yeah, worth noting, by the way, that the Wagner group is heavily behind Niger, fucking Blue Angels, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. And Guinea? Guinea. They're still going. They're going to be here for the weekend. Yeah, there we go. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea will probably intervene in favor of Niger. ECOWAS would not. Who are the lesser evil? Honestly, for the people of West Africa, ECOWAS is probably a better road forward than the road Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are going. They're fucked either way. Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso currently represent like being cucked out to the Wagner group, interminable dictatorship, and collaboration with Russia. And Russia is like a broke, despotic country that can't provide much in the way of protection or economic support. ECOWAS isn't exactly a thriving liberal democracy, but the path they're on probably has more potential, but it's not like good at all. Yeah, to be clear, I'm not making the argument that ECOWAS is good, which is the one that had to kill Whitey's country. That is South Africa, not a part of this. Yeah, you're either by the West or by Russia and the Wagner Group. Nigeria, the biggest member, is a liberal democracy.
Stop
Well,
running, bitch!
not quite as liberal or democracy as I would like, but yes, Nigeria is a very large and powerful country in Africa. I mean, relative to Africa, not us. Do you think Chinese...
What is bro
Like,
doing? Sucking up the sand?
okay, the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, their investment is neo-colonialism, but it's not like we do better, right? France has been these countries for decades and decades. Like, I'm not going to pretend we're better. You know? I'm primarily concerned with what's best for the people of West Africa. And for West Africa, I think that it is marginally better to
Damn it.
support ECOWAS than the coup in Niger. But, like, that's not a clean cut, you know what I mean? This isn't exactly like a picture-perfect representation of good Western intervention. This isn't like a Marshall Plan or whatever, you know, it's not good. ECOWAS leader statement. The elements of a possible intervention to develop, including the necessary
Oh, he
resources,
froze.
also the way in which we deploy the force of ECOWAS. Commissioner Abdel Fattah Musa. Man, that does sound like they're going to intervene. No wonder. This is what multipolarity actually means in practice. Yes, it
Damn
is. Multipolarity causes lots of conflict, strife, and destabilization all around the
Alright.
world. At least this
Oh,
kind
shit.
of multipolarity does. ECOWAS has won all 7 interventions since the 90s. Oh man, hold
Shit.
on. Niger military size.
Yep.
The Niger armed forces,
Let me just take a nap.
active personnel 25,000, with over 1 million people fit for military service if they were conscripted. But Nigeria is huge. The Nigerian army is 160,000 strong. So 6 times the size of Niger's army.
Stupid
based
fucking
on their
dogs. I gotta keep
standing,
dashing after them.
Their standing forces. Conscripting them in a week is not possible. No, it's not. Yeah, Nigeria would win. So what is? So I'm guessing that the coup in Niger, like they're just betting that ECOWAS doesn't do anything. It's not like Mali and Burkina Faso have the troops to do anything about an invasion from Nigeria. Like how many Wagner personnel are in Burkina Faso and Mali? It can't be more than 10,000. Probably quite a bit less. Around 5,000. 5,000 Wagner troops is nothing to scoff at when it comes to like African military engagement compared to what Nigeria can field. Would Nigeria be willing to field its like entire military, or like a reasonable portion of it? I mean, you know, would be willing to commit to a real conflict over this? Probably. It's not as though Nigeria wants to have like a military dictatorship do a coup right north of them. It doesn't make them look very good. The last ECOWAS military invention
God
as well.
damn.
In the Gambia? Yeah, but the Gambia is nowhere near as large as Niger. What were the casualties here? Were there any? Basically none. They just like went in. It wasn't like a war. No, Bosch, Nigeria has a real air force and a good military.
God damn it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check really quickly. Nigeria military equipment. Let me see what planes are we working with. What can we do here? List of equipment in the Nigerian army. Oh, they've got pistols. They've got good pistols too. Beretta. Look at that, very shiny. Okay, what about the real shit? Does it list like numbers here?
God damn it.
Okay, I know they've got tanks and technicals and blah blah. Give me the real shit. But I need numbers. I need to see how many they have. Do they have pilots that can actually fly them? Are they well trained? How many flying hours do they need per? Yeah, estimates in the right column, but not all of them were filled out. Air defense, aircraft. Aircraft? Oh, this is just the army. Wait, hold on. This is just the army. Sorry. Equipment of the Air Force. I thought it would be all their military equipment, not just... here, we'll just see this. Okay. Nigerian Air Force. 18,000 active personnel. One of the largest in Africa. Aircraft including 9 Chengdu F-7s, 12 Dassault Dornier Alpha jets, 3 JF-17, 12 Embraer, and a bunch of weird stuff. Well, weird to us. First flight 1966, that's pretty old. First flight 1973, that's pretty old. First flight 1999, that's not that old. Light attack aircraft. What about their bombers? Do they have bombers? 24 M346FAs on order helicopter gunship. Those are the bombers. These are modern multi-role. Okay, yeah, I guess that would be the best we can do. Wide variety of weapons, including precision-guided munitions. I'm operating on the assumption that Nigeria.
Oh my god, I didn't stun on time, and I had heals left.
Hyper-targeted drone warfare.
I should have
So
healed.
I assume that if they wanted to take out high-value targets, like without putting troops on the ground, that they would have to use like attack helicopters or. Yes, they do. They do. Nigeria acquiring Bayraktar. Oh shit, boys! Hold on. My assumption may have been incorrect. I arrogantly, as a Westoid, assumed that Nigeria does not have access to, modern drone aircraft, but it seems I'm incorrect. Last year, a few months ago, a high-ranking civilian official confirmed Nigeria was acquiring armed military drones from Turkey. Wow, that's a huge deal. So, like, the reason I was looking for the bombers, or anything that can operate as a bomb, I don't just mean, like, giant, like, huge bomb. I mean just, like, anything that can attack a target relatively accurately further in, is because I'm pretty sure that Niger doesn't have any meaningful anti-air shit, right? Like, they probably have cannons or AA guns, but I don't know if they would have... I don't know that much about, like, the remnants of African military equipment, but I can't imagine they have, like, high target... or like high accuracy targeted anti-air equipment. But they certainly couldn't take down a drone, at least not reliably. They ordered 6 of them along with 2 ground control stations. Okay. Except Wagner. But do they? Would the Wagner group have brought high quality anti-air shit with them? Because I don't think they would have. The Wagner group is mostly in Africa, so they can work for dictators, killing protesters and occupying gold mines. I don't think they would have brought like that kind of stuff with them. They could get them, but
Dumbass,
do they
gotcha.
have them?
Shit.
Like, would Wagner really bring equipment to prepare for conflict with Nigeria? Because in a conflict with Nigeria, they lose. Like, what? Mercenary groups don't really prepare for engagements in situations where their loss is guaranteed. They're there to make money. They're not like a standing army, right? So, like, oh yeah, just in case we fight Nigeria. Like, well, if you fight Nigeria, you're going to lose. So why even... They have Mil-8 helicopters? Well, that can't take out a drone, right? I don't think reason. Does the U.S. have a side we want to win here? Yeah, ECOWAS. Yeah. Nigeria have mostly manpads and anti-air guns. Okay, then they couldn't do anything about the Bayraktar. Wagner can't seem to get away from the Bayraktar. Just, like, some like Wagner veteran who was over in the Donbass, seeing like his allies get blown to bits. He takes a sabbatical to Belarus and then over to Mali and then over to Niger to participate in the coup. Hearing in the distance, Bayraktar, dun, 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 but it's like, not again. Well, true, Looper, but there's a difference between fighting against, like, insurgents and fighting against actual militaries. I don't think any country has ever, like, done well fighting against insurgents. It's pretty tough. We're in real trouble if Ghana gets involved. Oh, right, of course. The Ghana powered armor. I remember this.
Shit. Jaw dodge, bro. Oh shit, I'm doing the wrong thing.
Why the gun in the head? Don't worry about it, okay? It's So anyway, yeah, if Ghana gets involved, ECOWAS I don't have a response to power armor, I don't think. You should take a look at the Islamic
I'm
State
dead.
and Al-Qaeda presence in the region. It's massive, and this is their wet dream. Yeah. That's what the big reason that the Wagner Group has been able to get a hold in Mali and Burkina Faso is because ISIS has been f***ing them over so hard. Basically, like living in Mali or Burkina Faso is like there are areas of relative government control, and then there's just a big open swaths of land where ISIS reigns, you know? And the Wagner
Alright.
Group has in part been used as a way of keeping stability in that environment. So all of this destabilization can only benefit ISIS. This is going to cause serious long-term problems, I'm afraid. Is it ISIS or is it Boko Haram? Well, both groups are active there, right? Also, I don't think it's technically called ISIS. It's called, like, the Islamic State of something, isn't it, in Mali? Or is it different? Islamic insurgency in the Sahel or jihadist insurgencies in the Sahel is Islamic insurgency in the Sahel war. And then there's Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb.
Ah, the king bee.
Okay, I'm just gonna Google ISIS in Mali. The Islamic State in the Greater Sahara. Did you guys know there are lots of ISISes? Like, the Islamic State is actually everywhere in Northern Africa and West Africa. And they have like 50 branches. It's actually really bad. It's not good. Didn't Al-Qaeda fall off?
Yeah, I'm
Or
not keeping
depends on
my
where you
essence
are.
from the
I'm pretty
fights.
sure they're still active
I'm just
in the region.
gonna
They're just not active in
do
like,
this again when I'm
Afghanistan
stronger. What level am I?
or World
Level
Wait.
2?
Yeah, because the Taliban.
Yeah, it's a level 3 quest.
They are? Are they? Are
Is
they?
it?
Where did Al Qaeda like fall off then? Where are Al Qaeda? In Afghanistan and Pakistan.
I don't
yeah,
know.
but didn't they fall off significantly?
I'm gonna do that another time.
I thought
Yeah,
the
B-boss.
Taliban kind of muscled Al Qaeda
I could beat
out
it.
because they were
I'll do
doing
it.
a more global thing. I don't know. Okay, okay. New plan. All right. It's just there. It's just all back. It's not good. Estimated Daesh numbers. Daesh? The UN has estimated in a report published last month that Daesh still has 5,000 to 7,000 members and supporters across Iraq and Syria. Okay, what about Africa? Islamic State in Libya, 2,000 to 3,000. No, like the whole of... They're global? Well, yeah, Al-Qaeda operates a global network, or at least they try to. The Mali War? Here. Let's get some regional stuff.
Shit.
Okay, so red is the Malian army. Platform are pro-government militias. Green is coordination of Azawad movements. Jamaat Nasser al-Islam wal Muslim. Whatever that, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know much about Mali, okay? And then the Islamic State is over here. But the area the Islamic State is, over in this corner, that's the border with Niger, is it not? Guys, do I remember that properly? Right here to the south, that's Burkina Faso, and this is Niger, and then down in the bottom right corner is Nigeria. Right? Okay, yeah, so the area where the Islamic State is present is where they border
God damn it.
with
What a pussy.
Niger. Wait, wouldn't that mean if the Malian army wanted to get involved in any potential ECOWAS intervention in Niger, they would have to cross through ISIS-held territory? Or they would have to go through Burkina Faso? Because most of the border they share with Niger is controlled by... Dude, it's so... there. Oh my god. Holy shit. Play... It's literally like those RTS missions where you start with a full base that's already, you know what I mean? Like, or you're playing like Supreme Commander or like Civilization. Here's the scenario, okay? Your base spanned half the map, but it came giga to begin with. Good luck. You salvage the remnants, except it's unsalvageable. How much does ECOWAS struggle with ISIS presence within their countries? I know they do. How much Islamic State activity is there in there, and like where is it concentrated? Hold on. Islamic State ECOWAS countries. Violent extremism in the Sahel. In 2015, Boko Haram pledged allegiance to the Islamic State and rebranded
Damn,
as the
how did I get
Islamic State of Western Africa. Oh my god. Islamic State provinces and rival Al-Qaeda affiliates areas of okay, Al-Qaeda and ISIS don't get along. Necessarily. It's complicated. Okay. Okay. Islamic State Libya and attacks are here. The Islamic State of the West African province seems to be having a boatload of fun at the shared border of Chad, Nigeria, and Niger. And then the Islamic State of the Greater Sahara and the Jamaat Nasser al-Islam wal Muslimin are over here, over Mali and Burkina Faso, and a little bit at the edge of Niger. Okay, at least from this map, ECOWAS seems less, except for the eastern province of Nigeria. Like, this area
nice,
is
go
more calm than
Tornado.
this area. Okay, guys, wait, hold on, really quick. Chicken and the egg. Did these attacks from the Islamic State ramp up before or after Mali
The tree?
and Guinea and Burkina Faso broke ways with ECOWAS? Or in other words, were the attacks what destabilized the alliance, or was the alliance being broken off what led to the attacks because the region destabilized? Yeah, this just shows ISIS and Al-Qaeda, though. I know it doesn't show everything. There's so much bad stuff going on. We haven't even looked at Boko Haram. I know there are more actors. Just answer the question. They ramped up after the French were driven out of Mali? Okay, hold on. French leaving Mali. Ending 9-year deployment. Peacekeepers. Last 12,000 peacekeepers. Well, it looks like the French have had presence there, like, this whole time. No, wait, this is the UN. I like these berets. I like these. These like light blue beret. That looks really nice. I think this is a good look altogether. I think. Yeah, that's a really like good outfit. So you wouldn't think like light blue and beige would necessarily work together because browns and like tend to work with like blacks and grays and stuff, and then like blues tend to work with like other pastels. But it looks really good. Okay. Beach and sea. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's like the beach and the sea. That's true. That's true. Yeah, you kind of like a beachy shell color. That's nice. Okay. Wow, this is so cool. The Salafi Jihadi movement in Africa as of May 2021. Okay. The deep black countries are active insurgency. So look, here are 3 breakaway ECOWAS states: Mali, Burkina Faso.
Oh shit, I got
Niger,
it.
Not Guinea. Medium gray is
easier
low
than the bee
insurgency,
boss.
Light gray
Fucking
is
annoying.
terrorist attack
I don't know
zones,
why I don't like the
and
bees.
then striped is transit zone. Okay.
Let me take a break.
According to the red text, it's escalating here. All right. Okay. Okay.
Perform
what
an
about
attack,
Burkina-
damaging
okay,
nearby
no, what-
targets, and increase your damage for 7
what's the other
seconds,
one?
during which you
What's the other
continuously
one we're
you
forgetting
lose
right now?
health.
Not Islamic
Nice.
State, not Daesh, not Al Qaeda, not Taliban. What's the other one? The other one that we need to look at. Boko Haram. Thank you. Boko Haram. ECOWAS countries. Do we have maps? Maps. Okay. I am looking at this map of Boko Haram in Nigeria, and it seems
I'm fine
like
with that.
they're doing
need
a
an
lot,
area attack.
Is the thing. That's the problem. See, when you look at a map of a country and you see that like a solid 2/5 of it are areas where that far-right terrorist group is most active. Oh, this is from 2013? Okay, let me see if I can find a more recent. This is... Oh, this is even older. This is from 2009. Let's find a new one. This is from 2010 to 2016, where you can see that they're having a lot of fun all around the place. Super cool. That's super cool. Can I find anything? Africa, Nigeria, or Nigeria security threat. No, that's an older map. Unfortunately, it's really difficult sometimes to get demographic data in these countries because, you know, areas where the Boko Haram are really active are also areas where you don't usually send in Poindexters with, clipboards to do census data.
Use disruptive throw on a
yeah, okay, I'll
raid.
check the Wikipedia map in a second. How many people are in Boko Haram? Boko Haram, officially known as Jamaat al-As-Sunnah Lid Dawa
I think I might
wal Jihad,
switch.
or group of the people of Sunnah for Dawa Jihad. Estimated population. Claimed. Okay, the last estimate we have for their population is 15,000, but it's from January 2015. So we don't have an update on their population in 8 years. It's really wild how, like, if you look over all of it, the total number of Islamic insurgents operating in all of the Middle East and Africa.
Yeah, I think I
is,
might like this better.
Less than 10% of the population of our armed forces. It's so easy to imagine, and this would never work. This can't. It's not this simple.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
this
so
for my
easy to
power
imagine, like,
attack.
bro,
That
what
feels
if we
much
just,
better.
Like, destroyed them, you know? Like, dude, what if like all the countries teamed up and like annihilated them? But it doesn't work that way. But it's so, like, in the mind, it's like, what? 10,000 insurgents in the whole country? Well, that's what? It's like a National Guard, right? Like, that's nothing compared to the force of a modern military, you know? But in actuality, it is, because insurgencies are possible to deal with. Guys, has a major country ever dealt with an insurgency effectively? I'm genuinely, it's not me being sarcastic. I actually want to know, is there a single example of a large country with a military, a modern military, ousting an insurgency effectively? Is that like even a thing? Is it just like the cheat code? I would love to know. I'd love to study up on that so I could have opinions. Yes, in Sri Lanka? Okay, well, I don't know anything about what's gone on in Sri Lanka. But okay, I'll take a look. Oh, of course, also, the
I'm already
Rajavis have
used
done
to,
well with this, you know, but that's not even, that's
I'm
not
already used to
necessarily
it
like a nation
being the
state,
other
right?
way.
That's a
Fuck it.
specific, that's a specific thing. Okay, so Boko Haram is mostly active in northeast Nigeria. So okay, so it seems like if I'm
All
okay,
right.
if I had to guess, and I'm kind of doing this from first principles, so if I'm totally off, you have to tell me, okay? But if I had to guess,
Is there
okay,
another desert wraith around here, or do they mean for me to
Islamic
use that during that
militancy
mission?
was probably to
Because I don't
begin
want
with,
to.
more common in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and like areas more to the
I think
defense
that
side
was
of
it.
things, because A, they're further to the north, and northern parts of Africa are more likely to have more Muslims, and B, those areas are like further
Boys.
from the sea, and the sea tends to be like a pathway to trade and prosperity, even like in a relative sense there. So they were more likely to be plagued by the Islamic groups. The plaguing from the Islamic groups destabilized the countries, made it harder to hold territory, and predicated like a higher likelihood of military dictatorship in those countries. And that's the reason why things are going the way they are, in large part in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, because the destabilization makes it easier for far-right strongmen to take power, and that's exactly what ECOWAS is trying to prevent by staying
We're gonna
together.
start doing some
So
air
we're kind of seeing,
combos.
like two forces like sort of coinciding at once, which is a far-right military dictatorship is being produced by instability, and the instability is facilitating like a separation from the economic partnership, and that's causing more instability, which increases the likelihood of the Islamic groups that are leading to the strongmen to grow, and that's why we're in the situation we're in. You guys realize that even if ECOWAS intervenes and takes over Niger and invades and everything, that's not going to fix any of those underlying problems, right? Like, even if Nigeria nuts up and Bayrakpars the shit out of
Can't
Niger
raise that one
and,
yet.
like, gets rid of the coup, like, all of the underlying problems are still going to be here. It fixes literally nothing. So that's not good. Boko Haram doesn't exist anymore. They got folded into the
Damn, this game is really.
Islamic State,
Wish there was more
West
enemies to
African
fight,
State
more
and
shit to
later killed
find.
off by the ISWAP afterwards. The Islamic State West Africa.
Treasure map
province,
location.
So what's
A
their
hole in
current
the desert.
population? 5,000? That's it? Dude. Lake Chad drying up caused a lot of destabilization.
I already got
and
that. It's an
radicalization
unlocked
around
one.
Nigeria, Niger, and Chad as well. When did it dry up? Wow. Don't like that. Wow, ooh. One of the largest lakes in Africa. Look, you can see the country's borders superimposed over it. Oh, look, guys, it's the northeast province of Nigeria, the place where Boko Haram was most active. And look, now there's like nothing left. All the water gone. So that would explain one of the reasons why this area turned to shit. Everyone's dying of thirst. Water levels have been stable for the last 2 decades. Yeah, but stable at this level, which is a fraction of what it used to be, see? All the blue was water, and now only this portion down here and a couple of smaller lakes have water in it. The rest of it is just like green, I assume, means previous water held, right? Or maybe like it's more irrigated than other parts. Yeah, vegetation of some kind. Oh, interesting.
Using your idol significantly increase your damage,
Hold on.
increase the
Where
restoration rate
does
of your
Niger
idol.
get its water?
Thanks, bro. What is that?
Underground water sources, the Niger River, the Komodogo River, and Lake Chad, or whatever's left of it. Okay, 54% of Niger lack access to clean water. That's a good point, Arscarva. Yeah, eco-fascism in Africa seems like a reasonable prediction one might arrive at. I'm trying to see if I can learn anything about... I'm trying to, like, learn everything about Nigeria as quickly as I can. Not Nigeria, Niger, as quickly as I can. Fuck. Fresh water stops violence. Okay, yeah, that's not the information that I want here. MCC Finance Study finds Niger to be most groundwater-rich country in the Sahel region. Okay. Last August, the government of Niger deployed rain-making planes to induce artificial rain to target the country's pastures and croplands vulnerable to a prolonged dry spell. 3 months
What is that
prior, more
called?
than 250,000
A lost soul.
Nigerians. Wait, this is the spelling for Nigerians, not Nigerians, right? It's the difference between the E and the A. With an E, it's Nigerians, and the A, it's Nigerians. Okay, gotcha. That's a little unnecessarily confusing, but I won't hold it against them. Heavy rains killing 192 people, destroying more than 30,000 homes. Jesus. Can we... Okay, I want to do the thing that we did before really quick. I know some people think this is unnecessary, but I think this is actually really, really important. I want to look at Niger directly. Well, not literally directly. I want to look at Niger indirectly via Google Maps. I want to, like, you know, it's really difficult, I think, to... God damn. Well, this is the remain of Lake Chad. So, over here. Look at how few spots there are here, man. Hey, why does it sometimes not do the drop? See, it doesn't let me. Lock on. They need photos. There's a dot right there. You're in the middle of nowhere in the Sahara. Yeah, but there was a
I
dot.
see something.
Well, one of you has to work. Have these been, like, discontinued or revoked?
Oh, it's a
or
shitty tent.
something?
Oh,
Sometimes the dots don't work. Well, none
Must
of
have
these
forgot
dots are
this.
working. Click on
Alright.
the little man, then click on the dot.
no, divers.
No. Well, okay. Well,
I
this,
got
there
you,
we go.
boys.
Well, I am seeing evidence of poverty. Jesus. Okay, hold on. Where am I right now? I don't... You know, it says a lot about the poverty and state of a region if you can't even Google Maps it. Seriously, what the... No, all of these dots are non-functional. I wanted to go, like, out of the cities, but... Okay, here we go. This photo was only taken last month. Okay, fine. We'll look at a city. What's the capital? Niamey, right? What a vulnerable place to have a capital for your country. Look at this. Holy shit. This is like the geographical equivalent of having a Resident Evil, like, glowing eyeball weak spot that extends outwards after the guy you're fighting dodges one attack. Like, Jesus. Like, it's surrounded by, like, 7 other countries. Is most of that area empty land? Most of this big chunk of area right here is, like, completely unlivable, I'm pretty sure. Man, even in the capital, there's only, like, a dozen places to look at. Yeesh. That was also taken last month. Alright, well, the conclusion that I'm arriving at here is that it's not the easiest place to live.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm just thinking right now, like I was talking earlier about how, like, with the Bayraktar drones, they would be able to target key positions. What would they be targeting? I know Nigeria isn't exactly wealthy, but for comparison's sake, look at the Google Maps coverage in Nigeria compared to Niger. Niger is like a bunch of sparse dots over a desert, most of which don't work. And then Nigeria has, like, a road network layout, you know? And they're near water, what a coincidence. Nigeria is way more economically significant. Oh, Nigeria is, like, leagues, like massively. Let me see if I can get, like, a high up. Look at that. They have the whole.
Alright, I'm running
goddamn
into some more
city laid
enemies.
out. Look at this.
Let's go.
Not to say it's exactly wealthy. Okay, this seems to be the slum outside of town. They have cars. Yeah, this is about what East Los Angeles looks like. Lagos is the wealthiest and largest city. Oh man, look, like properly, every road's mapped out. Thriving urban culture, community-oriented, walkable neighborhood. Lagos has one of the highest wealth inequalities in the world. Yeah, it's not going to be great anywhere in Africa, frankly. Is it South Africa is the most developed African country, right? And even South Africa, we've seen, has like horrendous wealth inequality. But then again, I grew up in Los Angeles, so fucking whatever. Yeah, or Egypt. Oh, might be Egypt. Might be Egypt. Yeah, some parts of Egypt at least. Sorry, I'm being kind of aimless at the moment. I'll just sum this up. GDP Niger. 15 billion for Niger, and for Nigeria, it's 440 billion. So Nigeria's economy is approximately 30 times the size of Niger's.
Give me that loot.
All right, well, I think we can safely say that ECOWAS would win very quickly if there was any kind of intervention.
Where was that? Find traces of a walker? Didn't I have a quest to return?
The Trump Justice Department declined to reopen the criminal investigation into Lewis Lerner, a central figure in the controversy.
Check him on Splinter.
So what keywords? They used keywords that identified political groups.
Yeah, let me check up on Splinter. Where's she at?
To give them additional scrutiny, which is understandable. In October 2017, the Trump administration agreed to settle a lawsuit filed on behalf of more than 400 conservative nonprofit groups who claim that they've been discriminated against by the IRS for an undisclosed amount described by Plaintiff's counsel as very substantial.
Wait, building...
The Trump administration also agreed to settle a second lawsuit brought by 41 conservative organizations with an apology and an admission from the IRS that subjecting them to heightened scrutiny and inordinate delays was wrongful. I fucking hate this country. Trump became president and immediately fucking forced the IRS, or rather, Trump became president, and the administration settled a lawsuit over some bullshit. And now,
I already explored that.
Hassan hates USA. Maybe he should fuck off back to Iran. Yeah, I'm running towards your mother's pussy, you fucking dog cunt. And she loves it. Not even from Iran. Turkey. Anyway. 8-9 new cancellation holiday? Wait, why? What did I do?
Get over here. Give me that loot.
He's worthy of cancellation.
Incredible people. Jack Smith. He's like a deranged individual. And I think we're doing very well with that guy. But he's a sick puppy. And you know, you look at the boxes. I come under the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do everything that you see. Biden didn't. Biden's got 1,850 boxes. He's got boxes in Chinatown. Now, here's a guy getting money from China, and he's got boxes in Chinatown. That's big stuff. He's got boxes at Penn, totally unsecured, and he's got boxes under his Corvette, right behind his Corvette, sitting on a wet garage floor, classified documents. I never hear anything about that. It's a rigged system. It's a corrupt country. We're living in a very corrupt country, and I've exposed it. I fired Comey. That was a big thing when I fired Comey. I got rid of a lot of other people, too. And I was really knocking the hell out of the deep state. And then COVID came along, a gift from China. The China virus came along, and we did an incredible job in rebuilding. And by the time we handed over, we had the stock market at a higher point than it was just prior to COVID coming in, which was like a miracle what happened. And then you had all that, we call them the returning jobs, the returning Trump jobs. They all started returning. And we did a great job with that. But the deep state is something we have to fight very strong in this country.
I talk to a lot of people. People will come up to me, even independents, liberals, and say, I'm not sure I like Trump, but I love the fact that when he gets back in there, he's going to clean house.
Oh, like you wouldn't believe.
Where do you start? Who's first? And where do you go?
I mean, it's sort of an easy question. The first thing I'm doing is we're going to have great border security. We're going to put Tom Homan and the guys. Brandon,
we got to start on this.
As you know, you've interviewed him many times, and he's great. We have great people on the border. They want to do the job. It's incredible, actually, that they want to do it so much. They cry when they see what's happening. Our country's being invaded. But we're going to strengthen up the border. We're going to drill, baby, drill. I say it. We're going to drill. We're going to get the energy prices way, 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 way down.
You famously dropped tomahawks on Syria with President Xi at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an amazing moment. Why is Biden so afraid of China? What's going on with the Bidens and the Chinese that I heard today that Jennifer Granholm actually contacted the CCP when they were about to release oil from the SPR, and also maybe have sold some of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to a Chinese company that may have a link to Hunter Biden. What is with
By
this
the way,
action?
the reserve, which I helped fill up, and now it's at the lowest point in history.
Right.
We have almost nothing. You know, that was meant for wars and military, not to reduce the gasoline prices for an election, which is what they did. And now it's almost empty. And I had it full. We were full. And I was buying it cheap, too, really cheap. And Congress was fighting me. The Democrats basically were fighting. I believe we have a compromised president. I believe he is so petrified of China because they know how much money has been given to him. And they know where it is.
You want to know the saddest part? This didn't happen. He didn't actually. He was right where he wanted to purchase 77 million barrels of oil. Okay? He did. During COVID. At an incredibly...
Oh, give me that loot.
Incredibly cheap price. And the Democrats said... The Democrats blocked the proposal. So why doesn't he just say it? Why doesn't he basically say, I wanted to buy and fulfill our reserves and have even more oil than we ever had at a time when the price was so low during the pandemic. And the Democrats blocked the proposal. I feel like that is probably a better... That's probably a better argument. Like, be like, Democrats are so bad at business deals. No, the oil reserve. He's talking about the oil reserve. Because, like, our oil reserves are at a very low point at this moment because Biden had to utilize them during the in the aftermath of the Ukrainian invasion. And Saudi Arabia refusing to increase production, which made oil prices skyrocket. Biden couldn't get American oil producers to increase their production capacity because they said, no, we're taking advantage of the situation. Fuck you. We only care about our fiduciary responsibility to our shareholders and not Americans. So Biden went in and started using our reserves. The reality is that if Trump had actually purchased 77 barrels of oil like he claims in this interview that he did, which he never did, yeah, there would be a lot more oil right now, and gas prices would even be better for Biden, most likely. Except the Democrats stopped it from happening, which is why it's odd that he doesn't just say that. Like, I'm good at doing business. I'm good at doing big business. I was going to buy so much oil. Democrats stopped me. You know, Biden would look better right now if he used the oil reserves that I bought for him. Bye-bye. You know? Which is true. These guys, they hate me so much. They hate me so much. They're ruining America. So wait, Biden caused this? Stickers on all the gas pumps were actually correct? No, of course they're not correct because it's not like it's outside. It's not like Biden is an oil producer. He can only do so much. He should have fought harder. He could have whipped up Saudi Arabia, or more importantly, he could have gotten American oil and gas industry to genuinely boost production. He basically got not that much out of the American oil and gas producers, while also giving them everything that they wanted in the form of new wells that they opened up, in the form of new wells that they gave permits for, which they didn't even need to because those wells have nothing to do with current oil production.
Let's go. Stupid ass snake.
You know?
And I tell you, Jamie Comer's done an incredible job. Jim Jordan, they've done an incredible job. But they found, as of today, I think $32 million that went into his accounts and the various accounts of the family. That's a tremendous amount of money. And nothing was done for it. It was just a bribe. It's just a bribe, extortion and a bribe.
Well, let's go. We got a heaver.
About the $1 billion for the prosecutor. I'm amazed nothing was ever done. You know, you talk about quid pro quo. That was quid pro quo. But I believe that China's paid them a lot more than that. You look at University of Pennsylvania, you take a look at what's going on over there where China pays millions and millions of dollars. The Biden Center, and I guess they pay him $1 million a year, or I think they have $999,000 a year.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe report because it's under $1 million. But I believe we have a compromised person as president.
Damn it.
I believe that China has paid him a fortune. I've never seen anybody so weak on China. China's.
You need to go to him with tears in your eyes and say, "Sir, I can help you win. I can do this for him."
Eating
Damn
our
it.
lunch. They're taking over Cuba. They're taking over South America. They're taking over everything. This all happened over the last 3 years.
China and
Bitch.
Russia. Now, all of a sudden, doing military
How much health does it take
in the
down?
Ocean Islands in Alaska.
Right, that's right. That's
very dangerous for us.
unthinkable. So that just, we heard about that 2 days
Not that
ago.
much.
Would have never happened.
Yeah, actually, you're right about that too. Exactly. Regarding the federal documents case from earlier, the funniest part is that Trump could easily just say, "I did nothing wrong. I'm allowed to do it," and so is Biden. But he has to be so fantastical about it and says, "I'm allowed to do it, but Biden did it too, which is bad." Yes, you're right. I've pointed this out a bunch of times before as well, which is that, like, he's like, Hillary Clinton, she's not allowed to do it. I wanted to lock her up. Me, on the other hand, I can do it. What the fuck? Biden too. Fuck that guy. Also doesn't mention Mike Pence, which he could technically mention Mike Pence as well, because Mike Pence was under the same exact probe that Biden went under.
If I were president,
Haven't one
that
in
would have
there
never
yet.
happened. I would have
Save
called
that for
each
later.
one. I said, "Stop! It's not going to happen." And they would
Finish
have
checking the rest of
listened to me
this
100%.
area.
So it's very sad. I think it's the
What quest
weakest
is that?
our
A
country
lost
has ever
soul?
been. And I do think we have a Manchurian candidate. This is a president who's a Manchurian candidate. This is a president who's
Yo.
fully compromised.
That's
He's
sick.
so afraid of China, and the reason he's afraid is because I believe they paid him a tremendous amount of money, and he doesn't want people to find out about it.
President, the House has said, Marjorie Taylor Greene and others, Lauren Boebert, I believe, have said it's time to impeach Biden, impeach the president. They can't get full support of the full GOP. They can't lose 6 votes, and they don't believe they have it right now. Kevin McCarthy said we're going to do an inquiry into impeaching President Biden. Is it time, given what we now know from Comer today, with another $20 million going into the Biden coffers and all the buying Corvettes and whatnot with their money, with Kazakhstan, is it time the GOP gets behind these two who are calling for the
Damn it.
impeachment?
Well, the reason, there are 2 reasons, Joey, but one of the reasons they go after me is because the Republicans are going after them. And going after them very, very powerfully. But something has to happen. I mean, it's just, it's massive theft. It's,
Calling him a Manchurian candidate is new, and I like that. That's the kind of bold creativity that I expect from Donald Trump.
it's extortion. It's, nobody's ever seen anything like it. This is the most corrupt human being. This is the most corrupt family. For these things to be happening is not even believable. And I heard a couple of Republicans, nice people, and they said, well, we have other things to worry about. We have to do this, we have to do that. What could be more important than this? The other reason they go after me is because I'm leading in the election, because they would have done this 2.5 years ago. You know, they're very late. You don't do this in the middle of the campaign. Nobody ever thought it was possible. In fact, it's taboo. You don't do this during a campaign. They did all this stuff. And they're the ones that control Georgia, by the way. And they're the ones that control New York.
Lost
the
soul
Manhattan DA.
changed.
I got indicted for
Do
no
burning
crime. There's not
bridges.
even a crime. Everyone's talking about it. Even the Democrats say, don't do this. This is crazy. And the DA didn't want to do it for 2 years. All of a sudden, he got forced to do it. They put their people into the DA's office. So this is all being led by the DOJ. Fannie Willis isn't doing that. The DA's, the whole thing, the DOJ is leading so much because what they want is they want to interfere with the election. So that's one.
Where
And
the
other
fuck? How
thing,
did
if
you
take a look
disappear?
at it, they don't want to run against Donald Trump.
So let me ask you, there are two competing theories on this, right? One of them is they have some internal polling that they think Biden has a better chance of beating Donald Trump.
It's not internal polling.
Perform
They don't have
a
internal
powerful
polling. They're all
counterattack
disinformation
by
and
attacking
misinformation.
right
The only
after
one
a
they don't
successful
wanna run against is
parry.
Donald
Oh,
Trump. I beat Hillary
shit.
Clinton.
Or are they?
We need
do
that.
They not see that you are polling, and now you're polling above Biden.
Yes.
And is it? Maybe they just
see it better than you
can't
do.
help themselves.
They take it and they go the opposite. They say the opposite.
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
want to run against me, so they say we want to run against Trump. And then the stupid fake news, or not fake news, they get along with it. Oh, they really want to run against. They don't want to. If they wanted to run against me, they wouldn't have me being indicted every single day, every time my airplane flies over a blue state. They don't want to run against me. Remember a person named Hillary Clinton? They said the same thing. Oh, we most want to run against.
Watchtower
it's very interesting. They
elite
made that
foe.
statement. Oh, we want to run against
Get some
Donald
health
Trump. And
before
then
we go there.
Bill Clinton, who's a professional,
Intimidating.
he's a pro, like him or not, he said the one you don't want to run against is Donald Trump. And he said it very loud and clear, and it turned out that he was right. He also said I was going to win Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. He predicted this before, and he told his wife, you're not doing the right thing. And just like they said that,
Oh, I
they
need
didn't
that.
believe it. But like they said that, now they say, oh, well, we want to really run against. DeSantis is a failed candidate. If I didn't endorse DeSantis, he wouldn't have ever won. He was he was out. Then I endorsed him, and he went up and he was able to win. He went up massively in one night after I endorsed him. But he was a failed candidate. And you know what? He's a failed candidate again. He's got no personality. He's got nothing going, and he's dropped like a rock. I don't even think he's going to be 2 number long. I mean, somebody's going to come along like maybe Tim Scott or somebody and probably take his place. And probably this stops him in 28. You know, he could have walked into 28, maybe. You still.
He can't even get him to say. He can't even get himself to say, like, you know, this would have, if he didn't do this, maybe he had a shot in 2028, which is true, right? I agree. I do believe that. But then he stops himself before he completes that sentence and goes, probably not, because, you know, he just doesn't have any charisma, right? Like, he can't even get himself to say anything nice about him.
Still have to campaign. You don't walk into anything. This is a tough world in politics. This is a nasty, nasty world, as we found out. Probably it's never been nastier than it is right now because we have sick people. We have sick people in office. And again, they are a bigger problem than the outside world because the outside world you can, for the most part, you can cajole, reason with. They need things that we have. You can do things with them. But these people that we have, these radical fascists and Marxists that we have in our government, you can't talk to them. They're nuts.
He's
They're
right.
crazy.
President Obama.
Both radical fascists and Marxists, which, you know, 2 groups of people that notoriously, you know, they get along real well.
Obama visited Joe Biden a couple of weeks ago and said, "Be wary of Donald Trump. You guys are taking it too.
It's a really good skill. I'm going to
lightly,
upgrade
taking
this.
it too lightly." What are your thoughts on Obama?
Well, he's not taking it too lightly. He indicted
can't
me 3 or 4
upgrade.
times.
I need the
haven't
materials
checked.
and-
By the time I walk out, they'll probably indict me. Indicting, when I went to the Great Wharton School of Finance, we didn't have a course on indictments and, you know, all of the things that go with the indictment stuff. No, he's not taking it not seriously. He's probably taking it more seriously than any candidate in history because he has the Justice Department that he said he was going to do. If you look back 2 years, he made a statement that we will stop Donald Trump. Then he goes, constitutionally. He doesn't even know what the Constitution is. The guy can't put together 2 sentences. He can't talk. Every time I watch him talk, it's almost like he's walking on eggs. You wonder, is he going to get through the sentence? We have a
Oh, this was the Watchtower and the Elite Foe that I beat earlier. Okay.
The smartest. You know, Ted Kennedy, you heard the story. Ted Kennedy was a friend of mine because of Palm
Damn,
Beach. I
I'm
did him a
elite.
very big favor.
And
Then I
fuck.
said, who was the smartest senator? He told me. I won't tell you because I don't like the guy. But I said, who's the smartest senator? He gave me a name. He said, who's your dumbest senator? This is 25 years ago. Who's your dumbest? He says, probably Joe. I said, Joe who? Joe Biden.
Joe Mama, come on! Oh, dude, my head hurts. That was definitely way more. That's more than I thought it was gonna be. That's so much. Okay, maybe he's not back. I can't take him in like full uninterrupted 2-hour long rant.
What's
Like,
the
I
area
can't do
smash attack?
Was that just a single question? No, I don't even know what that was, dude. I forgot what the question was. Like, he just hasn't shut the fuck up. It's crazy how much he rants. Oh my God. He was asking about Obama and he started rambling on Biden.
This was never a genius 25 years ago, but now he's grossly incompetent. And the sad part and the dangerous
What
part
the
is
fuck?
that we are on the cusp of possible.
That's my area
World War
attack.
III. And this will not be army tanks shooting at each other. These are nuclear weapons, a level of weaponry that the world has never seen before. And we have a man that is incompetent. He has no idea. You take a look at what
Holy
he's done.
shit.
Take a look at the
So I do
money
have an
standard.
area
Take a look
attack.
at
Nice.
all these countries that are going off the dollar. They're being forced off the dollar.
Hold up, hold up.
Saudi Arabia.
I did not.
is-
Let me see here.
He goes to Saudi Arabia, and he gives the king, or the crown prince, who will be the king, but probably I heard gave the king also, a fist bump. What is a fist bump? A fist bump is don't shake my hand because your hands are dirty. I don't want to shake your hand. And
So he offended the Saudi Arabian king. He's a prince, but he can be the king. He's my king. It's like, if Trump did that shit, the CNN would be saying this, and Trump would be like, yeah, I did that. I did that because, I wanted to show him how strong I am.
they were very insulted by that. But Saudi Arabia now is very much in the arms of China and many countries. But you look at what's happening in South America and you look at what's happening in Cuba. So Cubans, I'm at 95% with Cuba. I don't know who the 5% are, but they want to go back and they want to see their country. They want to see their parents. They want to see their sisters and brothers. China is taking over Cuba, and nobody talks about it. The biggest shame of everything is that the fake news doesn't write about it. I don't see any stories about China building military installations in Cuba.
That's scary. Final question, Mr. President. Melania Trump, she was a huge part of your first, she was a great first lady.
She
Wonderful
was
first lady.
very popular too.
Is she up for it? Is she
That
ready
is
for
going to
another
be
4
very
years as First Lady?
useful.
Well, she really is, and she, it's very interesting. I was talking to her the other day, and she said it's so sad what's happening to our country. She just said it just so poignantly, but really, so it was sad, and yet it expressed it. She said it's so sad what's happening.
Man, shut the fuck
She
up
looks
about my
at the
armor, bro.
news and you see
My
the
shit's
border.
good.
Now, actually, for the most part, the news, the fake news doesn't report it. You report it incredibly.
See
You
if we can
report
reach over there.
It's like one of your biggest subjects because our country is being poisoned by people that are coming in that shouldn't be here. But she looked at it, and it was that, it was interest rates, it was the housing market, it was so many different things, all. And she said, it's so sad what's happening to our country. No, she's 100%, and I think you've been seeing reports lately that she feels very strongly about it, not because she wants to do it.
I don't think she loves him, right? Fuck no. Brother, they've
Fuck
not
are you doing
been
out here?
by each other's side. Not only, Trump hasn't been by Melania in a while, since the presidency ended, but also, his daughter and Jared Kushner have not been by his side either.
Oh, thanks for the map, bro.
Kind of interesting.
Good shit.
Like they haven't been publicly showing support at all, which is odd.
Oh, I made
Very
it.
nice life.
Oh, yeah.
She,
Yeah, she's fucking
Suck
Matthew
my dick.
Calamari. Hey, Matthew fucking Calamari. That's who
Where's
Barron
this pussy-ass
Trump's
boss
dad
at?
really is.
Color?
She thinks it's
Let's
very
go,
important.
bitch.
She thinks our country is being destroyed.
Well, we thank you. The American people thank you. I thank you, Newsmax.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
great job, great success. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you,
very
Mr.
much.
President. Thank you.
All right, folks, now just a note, Newsmax has accepted the election results as legal and final.
I know this
Damn,
might be
bro.
incidental or kind of like
put up a whole
not really
tornado. What the
relevant
fuck
to
was
a lot of
that?
people who follow for
The-
the
he-
politics.
oh, it's a
but
ground
I'm
attack?
a live streamer, so I'm very invested in live streaming culture and the general practices of the environment. I'm interested in my peerage. What are they up to?
Oh, I'm eating.
So there's this guy
Fucking
called
hate me.
Ethan Klein. Here he's baring his teeth to menace the opposition, which I find personally intimidating and powerful. And he's going to talk to a guy called XQC. So XQC is French Canadian. I know, but don't let that bias you against him. XQC is a very popular streamer, and I'm not going to fully get into it, but to sum it up, I think he's just completely given up and doesn't care anymore. He's insanely wealthy.
The French, no.
Insanely wealthy. Like, proper wealthy. He basically does whatever he wants, and it seems like most of his streams these days are passed through him just watching a succession of Twitter and YouTube videos and just going, whoa, dude, that's crazy, whenever something happens, maybe like once a minute. There's been some discourse about him content stealing. And to be clear, as somebody who watches other people's videos all the time, and in fact is about to, I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as you are doing something transformative and adding meaningful content to what it is you're watching. If you are just watching it and saying nothing,
Sorry, I need
think
that
that's
treasure
really
map again,
scummy.
bro.
If you're watching it and adding something, which I always try to, of course, I think you're fine. Even if you are going to watch something without adding anything, or say play a video if you're going
Thanks,
to use
bro.
the restroom, which I have done, I think it's good practice to make sure that you're on good terms with the creator beforehand, so they're okay with it and you have their permission, which I always try to do. XQC first got tips from Destiny right before the debate. That makes sense. Ethan Klein is friends
Bye.
with Hassan, who Destiny hates more than anything, except for possibly me. And Destiny is friends with XQC and has benefited from their association in the past. I also saw this recently, and the fact that this is blowing up, 31
let's go.
million views. Whew. Right now is particularly funny, and it's XQC, I guess, just watching some police body cam footage when his maids come in. And I'm gonna read what he types into his notes. Normally, I'm not, like, embarrassed chat, so, like, I'm more social and chill. But this time, there's a lot of trash. Holy, I'm, like, actually shy. Sorry. Bro.
I'm just gonna attack him in the air. He's got that shit on the floor.
And then the maid pauses and stares at him. It's just... There's not really much political value to this clip. I just think it's really funny. I don't think there's anything wrong if you're wealthy and you want to hire a maid to clean up your house. I clean my okay, to be clear, I'm biased in this because I do an insane amount of housework. I'm dad mode, okay? I'm like one of those guys now at this point where I will like look over the carpet and go like, see like one dot and go like, yep, time for a vacuum. Or I'll go down to like the hardwood floors in the kitchen and I'll see one scuff and then I'll order those like de-scuffing markers from Amazon. I'm dad moding this, okay? So and from my perspective, you know, I do a lot of that. Yeah. But yeah, from Berman, Bosch Manic Dad Mode cleans the house all day, and when I ask to help, he tells me no. Like a dad should. I don't think there's anything wrong with hiring a maid, and I might one day, I don't know. But I feel like you should always clean your own bedroom, right? That's fair, right? Like, you should always clean your own... Because, like, otherwise, there's something fundamentally grounding about being fully responsible for a space. And I think, yeah, it's like if you got a big house, like, okay, yeah, maid service fine. If you have, like, parties pretty often, I'm not going to expect some multimillionaire to, like, spend 4 hours a day cleaning their... Like, yeah, obviously, there's like, comparative advantage to them hiring a maid service there. But it's like, your bedroom, Okay, this isn't really relevant. And introducing
over
in
there,
the
bro.
corner, Ethan Klein.
What the? Why's my target going underground? Who the fuck is that?
At an earth-shattering 372 pounds, 5'2", the bear. Is XQC religious? Are Québécois religious? I don't know. They believe in French. No? Okay, they believe in France. They believe in their language. I don't know.
Fuck.
So I just want to say first off, like I was saying, thank you for
That
doing this. I think it's
fucking
an important
area
public
attack,
conversation
shit.
to have, and I think you're the
Kevin
right person to
Pop.
talk to about it. Simply because I feel, and I think you would agree with this premise that you push the fair use value, or apparently you don't even care about fair use at all. And I don't want to put words on your mouth, so you can correct me where I'm wrong. But you seem to not care about it, or at least you push it as far as it can go. So you seem like the right person to talk about it with.
Okay, so I think there's 2 points to
I
that.
will, just to be like clear for the stakes in this up front, I think there is a lot of value in promoting good civil conduct for live streamers. I am a live streamer. Ethan and Felix are both live streamers. I think that there's value in like maintaining a good standard and like having discourse on what good practice is for that. I'll also admit that there's at least some degree of personal bias here because, you know, as a YouTube streamer, what I can or can't get DMCA'd for is very, very, very ambiguous sometimes, and I feel like I have to be really careful with a lot of stuff. So I will admit, I do find it personally frustrating.
You
that it
fucking
seems
asshole.
like there's like an inconsistency depending on people's like relative size or like a bias in people's perspective on it, you know? Like, Felix watched like Hunter x Hunter on Twitch or something. Man, I wish I could watch Hunter x Hunter. I want to watch Hunter x Hunter with you guys. That'd be so much fun. Just sit here and watch like 128 episodes and just like pog every time a gon starts going Jean Canton, like every single time. Come on, how much fun would that be? Ask for
Come on, bro.
permission. I do not think
Go.
I would get that permission. Could you do it only on Bosch.gg? Bosch.gg is not a stream hosting service.
Where's the other
It only
asshole? There he
embeds
is.
Another website. The infrastructure for having an actual stream hosting service is monstrously complicated and
Come on, pussy.
difficult for anything that isn't like a big corporation. Can't you do watch parties? It varies.
What?
Where
the fuck you
it's more
going?
complicated than you think. Don't,
Come on,
don't,
bro.
Just,
Come on.
If you think like, well, what about this?
Give it up.
Loophole, trust me, I'm aware of it, and it doesn't work. Trust me.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too debatey yet, but basically, I think I value a good live product.
Significantly increases your damage, but reduces your defense.
I think I'm the right guy because I do a lot of it. I do good reacts, bad reacts, but overall I do a high density of reacts. I do a lot of it.
Interesting.
But on top of that, against popular belief, I guess these days, I ask for permission a lot, and I try to make an ecosystem where things are good and not conflictual.
Right.
That's the main point. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, that's all fair. That's all good. I want to make one, I guess I want to make one thing clear at the top, is that I want to focus on the YouTube uploads. Because the Twitch streaming itself, I feel like is too much of a gray zone, and there's industry standard. I would be less, I would be more hesitant to call what happens on Twitch a violation of any
Let's
kind.
get
So I just want
a-
to focus on what you upload to your YouTube channel. Is that okay?
Oh, I see an anvil.
Okay, so that's gonna be a yes and a no, because I truly believe that Twitch is somewhat of a competitor on VODs.
This
If
builds
Twitch
up
didn't
quite
have
a lot,
VODs, then
folks.
that'd be wrong. That'd be right, but Twitch has VODs, and all the VODs stay up. When people react, they leave the VODs up. It's quite the same thing as being able to watch or listen to music on stuff that remains in the VOD.
Okay, that's true, but just for the sake of this conversation, I just want to focus on, because like from a legal perspective, and I know you don't really care about the legality of it, and that's fine, but I just want to focus on like the YouTube videos as they stand as like a product. I understand that the VODs are on Twitch, and that would you know, create an inherent problem as well. But just for the sake of the conversation, to keep things clean and
You guys see the bunny?
keep us from getting too messy, that's my focus, if that's okay with you.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Just for the sake of having a good argument, I'll do that. Except for when the topic matters.
Sure.
Right? It really matters. If it doesn't, overall fine. But there are certain points that like it plays a big role into it. If it's too big, I think I want to ignore it. But
You know what? That's 100% fine. I guess I'm just saying that for myself, so that when I'm talking, you understand that I'm talking about your YouTube channel and not making general statements about what's happening on Twitch. Okay?
That's
Okay, cool.
that's
Okay.
fair. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess my first question for you to start is that do you think your work is transformative? Of course, that's one of the main tenets of fair use. Do you think your work is transformative?
Yes.
You do?
Yep.
Wait.
Here, I mean, okay, because I was watching you yesterday, and here you said it's absolutely not transformative. Here it is.
You don't have to care. That's totally fine. But you agree that you've created non-transformative reactions.
100%, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We've agreed.
So here you say you've 100% made non-transformative reactions. Did you change your mind?
No, absolutely not. I didn't change my mind. The whole point is that nevers are really bad, because I think we all have stuff that is not transformative. If you do a full-on yes or no, I just kind of like play with the question, and that was kind of like.
So, but your work is not fully transformative. Some of it is not, by your own admission.
Yeah, some of it is less reacted, yeah, 100%.
Okay. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright, or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter?
Let me up
That
here.
It might be illegal. Does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if
Face anti-copyright leftist. We've got him. We've got him, boys. Big corpo shill Ethan Klein BTFO'd by Chad anti-IP law. Felix, I get a lot of this discourse in my community, by the way, for like whether or not intellectual property law should or should not exist. The answer is, and I'm correct to this, so if you ever have this discourse, just don't, because I'll give you the, like, you don't need to think from first principle. Don't think. I'll tell you what's right. Never think. IP law in the current system has to exist to some extent, because if it didn't, the only people who would benefit would
I
be
can keep going up.
corporations, because
I'm gonna hit that
corporations
crack.
control an oligarchy, or like a not really a monopoly, but like a plutocracy or whatever, not only on the creation of media, but also the dissemination. So they could take any idea they want and then control the platforms through which they distributed their versions of those ideas, and you would get nothing. You would have nothing to protect your ideas. So that's not good. Some degree of IP law is necessary. And likewise, I agree with the idea behind the DMCA protections. The idea that platforms like YouTube can't be sued for having copyright content as long as they make a good faith effort to remove copyright content from their platform. That's what the DMCA laws are. However, their current implementation is bananas. So yeah, work could be done there.
It doesn't, because...
But that's fair. That's totally fair. And so because it doesn't matter to you, I don't think there's any point to really even discuss.
Well, I can elaborate a little bit.
Go ahead, please.
And open the door a tiny bit, just to give you a general angle. I truly believe that usually the people that enforce it are the ones that have a problem with it, right? The problem with the nature of the content itself. Because in terms of legality, right? Technically, if I'm playing some Telltale game, well, I mean, they could take me down anytime they want, right? Because that's their game, and I'm yoinking their stuff, right? So legality-wise, they could clap me for everything I've got, but for just playing their game.
Sure, yeah. But obviously, well, so fair use is decided on a case-by-case basis by a judge or jury. So it's hard to do big sweeping generalizations.
He is correct here. The reason why we have the expectation that full game playthroughs can be put on YouTube without copyright issues is purely an arbitrary one. One really obvious example of this being kind of weird and dumb is that if you play 10 seconds of copyrighted music from a movie on your YouTube live stream, the feds will shoot you in the back of the head through a window. They'll line up an anti-materiel rifle and kill you and the entire neighborhood in a single line. Whereas you can play as much music as you want from a video game soundtrack. And that's not because there's a separate set of laws or rules about it. That's just because people who make video games know that if you're playing their game, that music will play, and they don't want to copyright strike people who put up gameplay videos. And the reason for that is because we
What up,
just
Satchel?
socially
What you
accept
doing?
that it's okay to put up
You
copyright
got weed?
content.
What are you
as
doing
long as
out there?
it's video
Smoking?
gameplay.
Enjoying the view?
Interesting, right? There's not actually a legal difference there. People got really upset with Nintendo for trying to claim and strike videos for putting up, or for like their video game videos, but they're only doing what everyone else does for all other media. Nintendo was just dumb enough to do it for video games as well for a time. Yes, some video games have streamer modes with non-copyright music, but that's because they've licensed copyright music. I mean, music created for video games is usually not subject to immediate DMCA strikes for that reason.
About what is and what isn't, but ultimately, if I understand your position, you don't really care about the legality of it. You're more like concerned with the philosophical thoughts of like, reacting to content?
The limitations of that is that I care enough about it to where it affects me, right? So I have to care because it's the reality of it, right? Like if somebody wants to strike down, wants to send out a claim, whatever, well, I have to act on that, right? So whether I care or not, that will happen, and it happens all the time. Except I like to create an environment where I engage with people in content that are not going to do that because they believe in the mutually.
Oh, we got a bunch of
nature
pussy boys
the
hanging
interaction,
out.
such as video games. Even though the video games.
Okay, I have this at 10% faster than normal. I'm actually going to turn it down to normal speed because even with a 10% boost, he's almost unintelligible. I can understand what he's saying, but it's like just barely, you know? Okay.
Strike me, and then they want for just playing their game on my
That's
stream.
normal speed.
Right. Right, and so, okay. So I think my point is that we can kind of skip this whole conversation and move on to the, because I think we both agree, if we did a fair use analysis, and you admit that when you says it's not transformative, that a lot of the stuff you do would fail the fair use test. So we're on the same page, yeah.
And also a lot of your stuff too, so we're in the same boat pretty much.
Probably not as much, no.
So I did a little of stats. Maybe you don't want to hear it, or because you want to kind of But by density of content, with how much you upload as a person, as a channel, I upload this much, right? Overall, because I have a lot of runtime, you upload about this much. If you were to break down the percentage of non-terminal content, your ratio is almost higher as mine.
I have no idea what you're trying to say right now. You're gonna have to unpack that more. I don't understand this much, that much. You gotta have to explain that a little more.
So the content you upload on YouTube and on your channels, right? The things that are on YouTube, because you don't want to do Twitch.
Talking about my podcast?
Doesn't matter. Your content, the stuff that you upload, right? The stuff that you control and upload.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
So overall, if you add all the content you put out there, right? I have about that much because it's a lot of runtime. It's a lot.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Do you have proof of that? Like you're just saying that much, this much. That seems a little silly.
I have one of the highest runtime across the internet in terms of like putting out content.
Oh, but fair use doesn't have to do with.
Oh, this is it. So one of the reasons that I don't stream that much is because when I started streaming, I saw people like XQC and to an extent as well Hassan and Destiny, and I decided that I really didn't want to be that. I try to time my streams around and about for as long as like I can maintain the height of my attention span, ideally, which is not long, I'll be fair. But I never wanted to be one of the people who like, hey man, I stream 10 hours a day, and then like, and then it's just like noise in the background, and then maybe like
I
a third of it
think
is real content.
I saw
That's
most
the
of this
reason
already.
why I try to like you go on, you hit, kablamo, see you tomorrow, that kind of thing. I don't think there's anything necessarily.
Oh, good,
wrong
he has
with doing
chapters.
The way XQC does with like streaming a ton, but I think we see kind of the natural consequence of this, where a lot of it is just him sort of leaning back in his chair, and like occasionally going, Ethan's thingy.
But here's what I will say.
Well, go get another one. Go get the one from Meat Canyon. That one is you. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You combo mustache twiddling, hair, and neck skin, and you do like this.
Yeah.
And you get all sorts of things, and that's major react, bro. I have to give it to you.
Right.
That's
No, you're right.
I feel like if there's anybody who has no right to make fun of Ethan for the Tourette's thing, it has to be the twitchiest man on earth, XQC, right? Like it's this coming from Felix, like Jesus.
You're right. You understand this concept because you talk about it all the time. Meat Canyon is my friend who gave me permission to react.
Oh, so it's about permission then. So now we're going to go post.
Well, hold on. It is. Hold on. Before we move on, I just want to make it clear that when you're accusing me of not adding enough commentary, that you did upload a clip that's deceptively edited, and I mean, frankly, dishonest. Why did you cut this beginning part?
Okay, so Ethan.
Why did you cut this?
Unfortunately, the problem that I have right now is that you're saying that now, and you're saying all this whatever, right? But it's quite literally you in the video that's edited that says
There's cuts in it. It's not the video. How is if there's cuts in it? How is that a representation of my analysis?
All right, then examine Exhibit B. The Meat Canyon.
I'm asshole squeezing for this.
Okay.
Nice.
So why do I need to look at that?
So now it's about permission.
That is one aspect, yeah.
In the video, you're trashing me.
Oh, I think another example of like good practice when it comes to going over other people's content is after Ethan Klein did the Sam Seder switcheroo with Steven Crowder, I DM'd Ethan and asked him for permission to react to it on my stream. Because people knew like something had happened that he was about to release the video, you know? Just stuff like that, right? I think it's a good... Oh, and it wasn't just me either. Hassan did as well. I think this was before the Leftovers podcast. Hassan also DM'd. So like, I feel it's just good practice, you know? I think it's good,
You say he's sitting there for 40 seconds without talking. That's one of your major concerns or criticism. It's why it's highlighted so much in the video. That's a big hit you can do at me. And I'm going to show examples of you multiple times where you go not only 40 seconds, you go 2 minutes without talking. So then, I don't have to argue against you. You have to argue against yourself because these are your own words.
Well,
you can watch your own video.
So here's what I'll say about that. You're right, because the 40-second thing is not a good analysis. That wasn't a good thing I said, because when you're considering fair use, you consider it in the totality of it.
Take it back then.
No, you still are a content thief, in my opinion.
Take it back.
No, why would I take it back?
What? Because if you're gonna reel it back and say,
No, I just said that wasn't a good analytical point. I still think you're a content thief.
Okay, but so take back what you said then.
Why? I believe it. I know I am. I apologize for the 40-second thing. I don't think it was a good analysis.
You want to go with the other comments that you made or not?
Huh?
You want to go with the other comments that you made or not?
Which comments?
We could go through all of them. Because you're wrong across the board. Every behavior you call me out on, you have done.
One thing that I'm curious about is why is Felix so defensive here? So Felix gives me the impression of somebody who has more money than God and doesn't care anymore. So it's very strange to me that he seems legitimately upset by this, especially because, you know, as massive as Ethan Klein is, I'm pretty sure that Felix is larger by a good amount too. So I don't know if it's literally like is it actually just like a really hyper fragile ego? Because from an incentive standpoint, I feel like he could have easily just shrugged and gone, haters gonna hate, and then kept doing whatever he wants. It's wild. I guess it's just insecurity.
Damn it.
Somebody earlier, I didn't see who said that nobody's told him no before. That's
still working on pay attention to attacks.
Obviously, people have disagreed with him before. Like that happens to everyone. But there has been like a pretty massive push against his behavior lately, and it's possible that he's just kind of sweating under the heat.
Go pussy.
But his audience is, let's be fair, mostly half-wits and children. They're not going to be moved by this. He's not materially threatened. I don't. You know, it just comes across as strange, I think.
And those videos.
Okay, if you say so. But why do you want to... Okay, hold on, let me ask you a question. Why does that matter? Why does that matter?
Okay, because earlier you said, do you care about this all the time? Not all the time? And if you answered, you were like...
Who's that? Digging around.
He said not all the time, when you seem to be the guy who doesn't do any stealing
Who is that?
or thieving. And I have 4 examples right there. And you
did not show an example.
Well, then get another one then.
Well, that's not my job. You're the one that's trying to prove it. Should I go pursue and try to prove I don't do fair use? That seems stupid.
Wait, that seems like that's exactly what you guys have been doing on Twitter and whatnot, right? If your whole concern.
Yeah, I'm showing stuff about you and not telling you to go find a video of yourself not doing fair use. That's
how do I get him on the ground?
So you said thief, right?
Yeah.
Show me one.
I just did with the Anne Frank one. You did 44 seconds of commentary on an 8-minute, 30-second video where you offered no critical analysis.
And you don't have permission?
Did you have permission for that?
Yeah, maybe I didn't.
So why don't you tell? Wait, why won't you tell me? Did you or didn't you?
I'm just saying, are we moving the goalpost?
Shot hit him in the head.
There now?
It's not a goal.
I also think even if you do have permission, that there is a moral obligation to elevate the art form of streaming by making original
Yeah, no, he's not coming out.
Like, even if you had permission to just rebroadcast stuff endlessly, I don't think that the permission to do so would be itself evidence of, like, moral parity with making something new, you know? Remember when PewDiePie started live streaming on Twitch and he doesn't give a shit anymore, so he basically just put a playlist of his own videos to watch? and like he wasn't even streaming, he just had a computer running. On one hand, I kind of respect that because it's so brazen, and on the other hand, to be fair, that is his own content. But imagine if that had been other people's content, and he had permission to do it. That wouldn't be morally equivalent to doing your own stream, right? Because, you know, at most you're doing nothing. You're just rebroadcasting. You're not creating anything new. But we should create new things. I think creation is lovely. I love it when humans make things.
Post. It's just another facet of the conversation. It's not a goalpost.
It quite literally is when you make it a goalpost.
Okay, I do want to talk about the permission
And
thing,
you
okay?
shining gold.
But I just want to, I do want to say one thing. In my career, in my 10 years of career, I'm sure that there's been times where
nobody's gold.
I've done a less good job of reacting fairly to content. I'm sure of it, right? And
So you were Ethan. So you were Ethan, you're not anymore.
And that's something I acknowledge, and something that I'm always working on and analyzing and thinking how I can do it better. It's something I really care about. And the reason why this conversation is interesting is because it's something that you don't care about, and I'd like to know, I'd like to understand that. But are you saying, have I ever done a bad reaction in my whole career?
No.
Yeah.
Don't mind me,
yes,
Moose, just
I'd
floating
say no.
around.
I'd say no. No, never. Find one of you to upload where it was just me watching a video. I do tell my editors to not upload those, by the way. If there was something that would, because when I complete a stream, my editors who know what I want, you know, will go over it and cut up the content, edit it appropriately. And what I
Thanks, girl.
Usually, if I watched a video where I felt like I didn't have anything to say, or I just didn't I didn't create, I wasn't interesting, I'll tell them to just leave it on the floor. You know, like don't, you know, that was nothing, right? I've not been perfect about that, of course, but I certainly try to.
Almost certain.
So that
a fan uploaded a Mapmen thing once. Yeah, that's why there's a bunch of Mapmen stuff where I've only barely commented on it and it hasn't been put up. If a fan uploads it, I can't really help that. I mean, yeah. Though worth noting, I have talked with one of the Mapmen, and there seems to be some camaraderie there.
Oh,
So,
he's glowing.
You know,
My bad, bro.
Man, I would love to have them both on.
Go ahead, get back
What's
to your
take
thing.
on VODs that still keep your
I'm just trying to follow you, let you dig up some treasure.
Well, yeah,
so I can
still
find
think
it.
that's worthy of criticism if you don't re-upload it publicly because it's still there in the VOD. However, because you're doing stuff live, you can't manage that
He's
as
shy.
perfectly, right? Like, if you're live streaming and you want to watch a video and comment on it, but then it turns out you don't have much to say, that's unfortunate, and I don't think you should upload that. But you can't reverse time, and you also can't know ahead
Is
of
he
time
dumb?
for sure if that'll happen. So I think it's not like a one strike and you're out deal. It's just about maintaining a good standard and trying your best. That's what XQC is getting shit for here. It's not because he f***ed up once or twice or because he made a couple mistakes. It's because of this flagrant disregard for the content stealing just across the board, you know? It's like the pattern.
Shut the fuck up, bro. My
Old
armor's
Ethan,
fine.
Or not too old Ethan is a thief.
I
sack
just
of
suck.
dog shit motherfucker.
Sure, yeah. In those, if that's what happened in that time, sure, I was a dog shit sack loot, whatever the you said.
Have you made any efforts to repair
Yes.
the damage or the things that you've stolen from the people that you thieved from?
Well, again, I don't have specific examples. There's nobody that's approached me, so it's you
And
know.
have you taken accountability the same way you want me to take accountability?
Oh, I can
for that?
spin in the
I
air.
just did, didn't I?
Not really.
Why not? I just said, yeah, I've probably done that. What do you want
So
me to do?
you're gonna rob a bunch of people and say, guys, I might have robbed somebody. Lol. Moving on. I mean,
Well-
this seems like kind of a cop out, to be honest.
Well, it's not like going in a store and sticking somebody up. Fair use is interpreted by judge or jury.
So is it
Fucking
thief or
Moose
is it
is
not
still
thief?
staring at
Because
the
way
same
I see
spot.
The way you do it, I
when
think
you
is that.
steal
He was accusing Ethan of engaging in semantics earlier, man. Jesus Christ.
something from somebody, right? There's gonna be a process of like finding who's guilty, how
Is
much.
Destiny live in XQC's gear? If he is, his influence is not affecting Felix's.
Sorry about that,
behavior.
Walker.
Okay.
Let me murder whatever
I would-
killed you.
if
I got you, bro.
The tell for that one would be if Felix gets the like anime character glasses glint expression for a second before making a really good point, or if not a good point, at the very least a very convincing one. But I don't necessarily know if we're gonna get that here. Destiny has
Oh,
tried to advise
Exo Shard.
XQC on issues in the past. And
Nice.
It's not a consistent process.
Can I climb up here? No,
There's
it's
a
a
whole
wall.
process behind it, like the legal system is. Just like, I mean, don't you care about the legal system? You seem to care about DNC a lot, right? So
No,
being a
no,
thief,
Thana, I don't- this
Surely
isn't
you're gonna care about
Destiny's
that a
not
lot.
doing this or
So did you de-damage them? Did you talk to them? Did you make an
I
apology?
don't know who
Seems
the
like
victims
you
are
kinda-
or if there are any. All right, let's move on. We're talking in circles a little bit. We want to talk about the permission thing?
Haven't you talked to XQC back when you were Irish Laddie? Yeah, okay. This is actually like one of the most embarrassing
he's
things
got the
I
gold.
ever did in the context of my career. And
Fuck, I
nobody
scared him.
mentions it because nobody remembers
Who's got the
it.
gold?
But I'll air it because I hide from nothing. Back before
Who's got the
I
gold?
think
One
I
of you's got the
even
gold.
became a streamer. I think this was before I even had the channel, or maybe I was still going by Irish Laddie at the time, like colloquially in Destiny's community. I was on a group call with Destiny and XQC. If I had a channel by that point, I would have plugged
Who's
it, for
got
sure.
the
Like, I was in
gold?
a call with them. I don't remember why or how.
Fuck, I'm
exactly.
scaring
But
everybody.
I've heard from a friend of mine, because I was in university, so I'd heard from a uni friend of mine that XQC was homophobic. I don't actually know if he is. I don't remember what the evidence for him being homophobic was at the time, or anything. Like, I don't remember any of the context associated with this, but I remember being told he was homophobic. So I was trying to get his goat by being, like, flippantly gay, or like coquettish to him or whatever. Like, oh, isn't that nice, XQC, or something like that. In a way that in retrospect was definitely like pretty cringe. Not
There he
sexual.
is.
I don't think it's sexual
Go
harassment,
ahead,
but
dig it
definitely
up.
like cringe or like weird or whatever. And,
There we go.
It was definitely like it didn't bear out in anything. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't,
give me that loot.
It didn't lead to anything. It was just me being
Get the
weird.
fuck outta here,
but
man.
I've always felt like
Suck my dick.
Man, in retrospect,
Thanks for
I
the
should have
loot.
just like called him a dumbass.
Wildlife
Could've done more
treasure.
with that.
I
There-
missed
there
one
were
probably
more
earlier in the
effective
map.
axes of engagement there for sure.
Probably
So what you're doing is
over
running a liquid
here
push.
somewhere.
We're not running
Well,
circles.
no,
You're not running in a direction, and you're going straight forward. That's what's going on right now.
That's clearly not the case, but
Gotcha.
I will
Hold on.
just let it
What?
be for the sake of continuing the argument.
Gotcha. Keep going.
But
man.
yeah, you do it every single day. I mean, I've done it maybe a few times in my career. I've done, and again, I don't know who the victims are, and if they come, or nobody's ever come to me. Has anyone ever complained that you stole their videos?
Anybody that has
Anybody
reached out to me-
ever?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Okay,
yes.
because nobody's ever complained to me about that.
Oh, so now you care about robbing somebody, right?
Well,
and if they didn't tell me, well, you know what? We're
You're
chilling,
saying the
which is
victim of the crime
exactly-
doesn't matter?
Which is exactly what you went after me with.
Does
But
the
everybody else,
victim
like,
of a
Wait, what? I don't even know what the logic pull was there. I don't know what that was. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever had a person complain about me stealing their content before either. The only time that happened was the conversation that I had with, I think it was like a black cop conservative on the Blaze. It was that time where the Blaze was like, hey, we're going to do this group debate 2v2. And then it started and they were like, oh yeah, we're not going to rebroadcast it.
Let's see.
And then when we were
Let's
off
use.
screen, one
Let's
of
see
the
if we can
ladies said,
find
yeah,
a
you can upload it
wraith.
to your channel. And then I did upload it to my channel after. And then they copyright struck
Oh,
me and I had to
I
find
see
it
a big
and
boy.
They dropped the claim. So the only time somebody ever accused me of
I
stealing
wonder if
their
that guy
content
counts
was
as
when
a
Nazi
wraith.
lied in order to try to get me copyright strikes. Officer Tatum, yeah. Oh, and you guys can go see that on the Blaze if you want, but I owned him, obviously.
Crime not matter?
Well, he's asking after the fact that is the exact argument that you went at me for, and you're running away from it.
I don't know. Listen, the proof that you have victims is literally just concrete proof you did it. That's the only reason I'm saying it. I don't understand your point.
So when you say victims, I said
Yeah,
people that.
some people you stole from. They're a victim.
Okay. So okay, what about your victims?
I don't know who they are. How many times do I need to say that?
Okay, me reaching out and making an agreement with them and
Every time?
Yes, you're not okay. Listen, even if you want to open up the
So
chat.
yeah, notice like the engagement here. My bad behavior. What about your bad behavior? After Ethan's already said nobody's ever reached out to him to complain about content stealing.
Bitch.
And now it's shifting into this like, well, if there was one time that I had like permission or whatever, that sort of thing, you know? Really bad faith engagement. He seems so petulant. No, he's really petulant. Yeah, it's like telling a kid that they like. It's like a kid like broke something and it's their fault. You tell them and they're like no, and they like blame everything in the universe except for themselves.
And go with the logs. I have so many logs to make your head spin.
Let me ask you a question.
I have over.
Oh, I
have
did get
hundreds of
the-
emails sent to people.
I
more
did
than
complete
any
the
reactor,
quest.
which is more than your friend Hassan. He does way less asking than I do.
Why are you bringing up Hassan? What does that have to do with anything?
because whenever he was on your podcast, you were sucking his balls out.
Well,
Wait, here we go. Here's the Destiny influence. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, in the earpiece in Felix's
Oh,
ear.
I see why he switches. These are the active skills. Okay,
bring
okay,
Hassan.
that makes sense. I'm dumb.
Sorry. I'm being facetious in this. Hassan does this too. The most egregious thing that Hassan did was the time where with JXC, he watched a JXC video and apparently like the screen was cut off so that her video title and channel wasn't even visible. And then when she was like, hey, can you not do that? Hassan was like, yeah, JXC likes to hang around with like far right people, so yeah, don't know if I'm gonna take that seriously. And JXC like goes on a podcast with some other media people, like
Let's try that out. That looks nice.
Maxor or something.
Just max
There's
out
some
my
other- no, not Max,
counters.
some other people. I don't know. JXC's based.
Successful
Mahler, that's
parry,
it.
perform a
JXC's based,
counterattack.
though.
Yeah,
And
my
since
parry's
then,
gonna be
JXC has had a grudge
nice.
against Hassan and makes fun of her.
Let's get that
or makes fun
going.
of him sometimes. Trans
Your
Hassan,
slam attack leaves a
in,
damaging area effect for
videos.
5 seconds. This
JXC is also the world's
effect
best
can occur
source
once every 20
on
seconds.
Why these Netflix originals are terrible.
Mr. Chair reacts and.
I haven't
Dude,
seen
we're
that
so
dishonest.
work
You
yet.
don't, you don't even know what you're talking about. Last
What
week
attack
I chewed
is
him out
that?
for an hour to the point where I had to apologize because people were mad at me.
That sounds like your
You
problem.
literally
No,
don't know.
That sounds like your problem.
It is my problem.
What? Okay, so nobody accuses you of stealing content, but what about your friend Hassan? I criticized Hassan directly for doing this. Well, that sounds like your problem. What the f does that mean?
But you have no consistency what you're talking about. You just said I lick his balls, and now I proved you wrong.
Consistency?
You
did not.
making
you did-
no sense, bro.
So
What do you
I'm
mean
a
it's my problem?
piece of shit for doing chair react when he does
All right,
cookies
this
and
is so
cream
mindlessly
react.
dumb. Let's just move on to the permission part.
You know what? You want to keep doing a sprint? Let's just keep running. Let's do a marathon, me and you. How about that? Because we're running in a straight line right now. I'm running after you, and you are going straight forward.
Okay,
What?
good. I mean, that's the point of the conversation, right?
Let's just keep going then.
What percentage of people would you say you get permission from?
The majority. Because the way it works for me,
Boost
for
pond. Ceiling told
the
him.
main lines.
I'm there.
I would not want to challenge Felix to any
I don't know how I missed
competition
that.
speed. He's even got like bleached blonde hair. I feel like he would have lightning. He's like Zenitsu, okay? He would have lightning powers. I feel. He talks so fast.
Most of the content that I like, I have it all lined up, right? So people that I really like, I like the best. We reach out to them and we create this little kind of partnership.
Oh,
right?
up here.
And when there's a smaller creators, I try to be way more careful with the amount of growth that they're getting, how many subscribers they have, and I try to be better with it. And quite honestly, when it comes to small creators, I have never had any pushback, right? So no victims in that case.
Okay, that's perfect.
God
Have you heard
damn
of a
it.
guy named Vince
Fuck.
Vintage? You-
Okay, if you are a small content creator, publicly complaining about XQC watching your video is suicide. Because all of his 12-year-old fans are going to swarm you, saying, bro, one of the biggest streamers in the world watched your video and you're mad? And like, meanwhile, like, you got nothing from it, of course. Like, it's not like XQC fans ran over to check out your channel. They're just watching him watch 27 videos a day. But they're gonna race over to you and make your life hell. And I've seen stuff like this happen before, not just with like XQC's community, but like just in general. Fans of large content creators, especially when they have a young audience, get hyper defensive and will attack people for criticizing them in any way, no matter how valid the criticisms are.
reacted to 2 of his videos. This one was from a month ago. You remember this video? Disappearance of FBI's most wanted 16-year-old. XQC reacts. This is from a month ago.
That was 2.5 months, 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay, perfect. So it was very recent. So would you consider this guy a small creator? He doesn't have a lot of subs. In fact, here's his original video. He only has 400,000. Well, that's not small, but anyway,
Okay,
he did
made
this
it.
recent.
Yeah, that's not small. 400,000 subs is an okay number of subs. It's all right.
Do you know who that guy is?
Yes.
Okay, why didn't you ask him for permission?
I don't know. Did he complain? Because at this point, I don't know if I have a victim, right? I don't know, so I didn't do.
Well, you do, actually. And what's funny is I literally just reached out to one random person from your recent reacts. Just
Hitting a
one,
foe with
who
your
followed me.
sand whip
'Cause I
supply
knew I-
attack
It was only one.
significantly
Yeah. No, I
reduces
swear
its
to God.
defense for
I just
3
reached out.
seconds.
Are you a victim, by the way?
Let me,
Oh
hold
my
on, this
God.
is important. This is important for you to understand. So I reached out to Vintage, And I said, hey, I'm just curious.
Why the fuck? Why every time I show my subs, people are like, hey man, does it bother you that your career is dying? And I have 10,000 viewers. Why are people like, your sub count is stagnant? I'm pretty relevant, okay? 10 million views a month between my two channels. It's like, oh, dead channel, bro. Yeah, my subs are stagnant because every 6 days I get embroiled in the yet largest leftist controversy online. I'm never not trending, and it's always because somebody's calling me a Nazi. Of course. I get a lot of subs every day. I just also lose a lot of subs every day. We've gone over the charts on stream. It's like, I think for most people, they probably, like, the ratio of subs gained to lost is probably like 5 or 10 to 1 because people don't tend to get rid of their sub. Like, if you sub to a channel, they don't tend to unsub. But for me, it's like 8 to 9 sometimes, where it's like, oh, I gained 1,000 subs in one day. Ah, sorry, buddy. Well, 999 left because they think you're a Nazi now. So it's... that's okay. I'm trying. God.
Did XQC get permission? And I'm going to read you the message he sent me, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
He said, really appreciate you reaching out, Ethan. I've never been contacted by XQC at all for any of my Iraq videos. My personal take is this. I love big streamers watching, like XQC, Hassan Mizkif, Moist Critical, watching my videos on their stream. It's a big ego boost. But when XQC does it, it's different. When he watches my video, he always re-uploads the whole thing on his YouTube channel with his insightful commentary as, wow, chat, isn't this crazy? Compared to when Hassan watched my stuff, he shouted me out and he says he loves my stuff and he sent a bunch of subscribers to my channel.
Yeah, okay, to be clear, I have criticized Hassan for this, but I don't want to equivocate. Hassan is far better about this than XQC is. Massively so. To be clear, you know? The JXC thing was especially bad, but like on average.
A fair exchange. Here's a video. He showed me a
Here's the
video
amount of momentum
Hassan doing
gained
that.
when
And then he
defeating
said, XQC, he really just steals my shit, entertains his audience off hundreds of hours
That
I
sounds
put into my
kinda good. I'll
videos,
get that.
while I get just a link in the YouTube description. The problem isn't the reacting,
Let's
it's the
try
re-uploading of my
that.
video.
That's another thing. Putting the link to the original video in the YouTube description is nothing. Nobody's going to watch an 8-minute video after just watching an 8.5-minute video of XQC reacting to it without pausing it. Like, they've just gotten the video. You know, like, why would they just go and watch it again? This is another thing as well. I've always felt much more comfortable going over other people's content if it's non-high effort content, if that makes any sense. This is the reason why I'm, for instance, pretty hesitant when it comes to uploading Mapmen stuff. Because the Mapmen videos are...
That's kinda nice.
Well, they're brilliant. They're incredibly funny. They're informative. They're extremely well written. They're fantastic, you know. Or any of the Unfinished London videos, anything from that goddamn channel. Excuse me. So if I watch a minute of their content, that's a lot of effort distilled in that minute. And then there are channels like Not Just Bikes or Adam Something, where a lot of effort is put into every minute of those videos, script writing, choosing clips, but it's not like Mapmen where we're talking like rewrites and performances and stunts and bits and like setup and like costume changes and stuff like that. There's a lot of effort that goes into it, but minute per minute it takes less. And on like the way over on the spectrum, there's me, where a minute of my content took me 1 minute to produce. So when I go over stuff like talk shows or live streams or things like that, I feel like there's a lot more flexibility when it comes to reactions because I'm not distilling as much effort. I'm not, you know, does that make sense? I feel like there's a less, I feel like I'm taking less, essentially. Again, there's no perfect standard, but.
With his face on the thumbnail, and also, and I don't DMCA him because I don't want the Twitter drama.
Oh.
Yep.
He doesn't want the Twitter drama.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you? Well, hold on. This guy says you stole his shit. Why are you denigrating that? I think you should take this seriously.
Well, because one is a paid actor, right?
Huh?
I think. Well, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's a paid actor, 100%.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Oh, it's a paid actor.
He's a paid actor.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
just assume for.
What? Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's a paid actor, right?
It is what it is.
That's a demon right there. That man sent you that message. That is the devil. Will eat your ass. Paid actor. Like, what are you talking about? Is a Fed? It's not real? What does that mean? Notice how, okay, man, not to like overanalyze, but listen to Felix's voice waver. I think his
Shit.
feelings are actually hurt.
What, he just killed himself?
He's a paid actor.
He bombed
Yeah,
himself.
Yeah. No, he is.
brave.
100%. It's not even a hard read. His face is shaking. His teeth are quivering. When people are nervous, their teeth chatter. When they don't know what to say. It happens to everyone. It's happened to me. He's nervous. He's gonna cry. I mean, probably not actually, but you know.
It is what it is.
Okay, well, just assume for the sake of the conversation that he's not a paid actor.
Okay, okay. So the first guy you react, right? The first guy you send a message to sends you a paragraph, looks like the Bible, right? And is stroking your ego out. Well, you know what?
Do paid crisis actors also belong to SAG-AFTRA? Yes. The Sandy Hook victims are at the SAG-AFTRA strikes right now. They are not getting paid nearly enough for the shit they have to go through.
Okay, I'll bite.
What are you doing out here?
Yeah, just
Looking all
So
sexy.
What's really cool about this,
Mining stuff?
right, is that we can make that type of interaction I have with this person and make it 10 times better for our ecosystem, right? Of what I watch, what I upload. If he had asked, he doesn't have to. He can use the DMCA system, and maybe there will be Twitter drama or not. We never make drama for DMCA stuff. But then
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Why are you not
I
responding
don't
to his
either.
accusation? He says you're stealing his shit.
Let me elaborate.
I don't know. Okay.
Let me elaborate then. He would
Vince Vintage is in chat. Is that true?
he would be a data outlier of a person who doesn't like it, and we can either recurve that, make it better, and I will de-damage him for every dollar that he has lost to me, right? And he had analytics to back up how much the video on YouTube cannibalized his of any sort of damage.
Son of a bitch. Yes, he is. From Vince Vintage, $5. Just understand I am a paid actor. Then I guess XQC is right. Also, what's up? Hi. A lot of drama today. Hey, listen. Well, if Vince is here, you know, just to be clear, like, as someone who's dealt with a decent amount of drama and dogpiling in his life, okay, even for someone as hardened to it as me, the idea of having to deal with XQC and his
fuck
fans
is all
coming down on
this?
me for like, bro, he watched your video and shouted you out. You DMCA him? You're gonna DMCA him? First of all, if Vince Vintage DMCA
What area of the
XQC
map am I in?
for that video?
Oh,
XQC would not
exploring
be like,
this whole
"Oh,
city, that's
cool,
where I
dude."
am.
He would
Okay.
absolutely 100% go to social media.
All
and
right.
be like, bro, what the? I thought we were cool, man. So like the idea that he would be like level with it and not belligerent the way he is with literally everything else is ridiculous. But yeah, the idea of, even for someone like me who can deal with a lot, I think the idea of like XQC fans descending upon my channel like a swarm of locusts would be.
Oh, so we got the wave back up over here.
Terrifying.
Managing
What's on
data
the
or
ground?
stats behind it, I would be
Anything
more than
interesting?
happy to give him 10 times 10x.
What's this?
Whatever damage
Okay,
was
good.
caused.
He'll reach out. Have you ever paid anybody?
You get that bag. Hit that bag, Vince. It's out there. The offer is out there. He's gonna regret saying that.
10x before? Has that ever happened?
We have these
How many
people
times?
before.
Moving my disc.
Whenever it arises, if
How
that's
many
something
times has it happened?
I will have to check with editor, but
Right, not a lot. I'd assume not a lot of people do that.
Oh, okay. So the amount really is what you're looking at then.
No, just the amount of times that people actually take you up on that. Because what you're saying is, I'm going to steal your stuff, and I don't care if you have a problem with it. You can come talk to me. Like, that's not your right. Shouldn't you apologize?
XQC on Twitter did say that if there are any issues here, people should just DMCA him, which is insane. The idea of like, I'm not going to moderate my behavior at all, and if you want to engage with me on it, you need to do it through like the legal system or through YouTube's like, you know, DMCA process is just wild.
To Vince?
Oh yes, I
It's not his job to come ask you for reparations for you stealing from him. Don't you understand that?
So what you're saying is that you went digging for victims that
I literally messaged one dude.
Okay, so nobody in your production room believes
Why
that.
don't you just apologize to Vince Vintage?
Shell basher, I'm coming here, asshole.
I absolutely
Fucking
will. and
bastard.
I didn't get a Twitter DM. I didn't get nothing. I feel really bad. You wanna know why? Because all about the whole sphere of this, everything around it, is to make something good happen, right? And that matters
That's
to me a
such
lot.
bullshit, bro. Nice try. You literally do it to enrich yourself. You're a multi-millionaire, and you steal content from small creators.
He's a multi-millionaire, to be clear. Like, Hassan is a multi-millionaire, all right? XQC
Who the fuck
is
are these
a
assholes?
multi-millionaire, okay?
All right,
Hassan's
bro.
savings account
All right,
probably has 7
okay.
digits.
I got your
XQC's
game.
Probably has not. It's a meaningful difference. His net worth is 10 million. Hassan's or
God
XQC?
damn it.
XQC's is definitely not 10 million.
But then you don't give a about their rights or what they want. And then your only justification is, oh yeah, you can come chase me down and complain and try to get my attention so I can pay you for the shit I stole. It's total bullshit, bro. You're not creating anything big for anyone. You're just taking attention and views for yourself, and you don't give a fuck about the consequences of that. It's not your decision to make that for other people's property.
You sound like watch out! You sound like a Robin Hood or something. Are you like sort of?
Hey,
Shit!
Felix, do good things. Take responsibility for your action. What are you, some kind of superhero? Oh, you're like whoa, bro. You're like Robin Hood. What do you mean? It's incredible how even for somebody as childish as XQC, he's still internally replicating the logic of the robber baron, where somebody's like, hey, you extremely powerful man, can you not stomp on the people beneath you? And he's like, what are you, some kind of vagabond? Are you a highwayman? You're robbing me. You give it to the poor, is that it? Like, it's okay. This is what people talk about when they talk about class consciousness. You know what I mean? Where,
oh, what did I get?
Incredibly, despite having a moth-bitten brain, Felix is capable of arriving at the basic, like, underlying self-defensive logic of the bourgeoisie without, like, conscious engagement. You know what I mean? It's because the systems that he exists within just naturally pull him towards that kind of myopic selfishness.
Is that where I'm headed?
In his case, I just think he's also genuine.
Shiny, I want that. Where is it?
Like that? Because it seems like you do a lot of that.
Yeah, it's
and
some
you
good
high
blue.
road on it. You
That
take
Walter
the high
White.
road on that. One, that's my point. You have done that. You do that.
You haven't proven that.
I wish I could fly. Can we fly at some
Okay,
point?
fine, I did it. You know what I mean? It's like so stupid. What is it? What does
From Vince Vintage, the juicers have been invading my DM and comments, and XQC still hasn't responded back to my DM for the 10th time. Oh, really? Oh man, you suggesting to me that
How much health does that
might have
heal?
been insincere when he flippantly talked about how you can get.
That's a lot of health.
Yours,
Nice, almost half.
By directly contact. That's remarkable. Well, you are a paid actor, so you could have been acting that. I really do hope you're able to get what's yours. Again, to me, it's not even about like everybody should get proportional ad revenue or whatever else. It's just about like the basic decency and decorum of handling your fame and your presence, especially for somebody of XQC's size. You know, it's like God.
Oh, I gotta kill the shell bashers down there.
You can't use me as an example for your own thing because
you keep saying that.
You're doing it.
Not
You're doing it. You call me a thief piece of shit when you're doing it.
You haven't proven that. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Let me send one DM. I will, guys. I'm going to send one message, and he will automatically give me a full response right now. Give me a minute for it. Okay.
You're making fun of this message I got from Vince Vintage, which is a genuine. He was expressing himself genuinely, and he was disturbed by the way he uses content. Can I ask you another question?
Oh, there's a long delay
I will take that.
before I can counter parry again.
I'll take that right now. I will give you an
Come on, parry me, bitch.
I'll say this ecosystem.
Right, but that's just.
Well, it was 10 times every penny. Huh?
Work for you.
Let me ask you a question. This is
Shell
a video,
Basher.
and you do this.
Come
all
here,
the
bro.
time. You'll agree.
Yes.
You use the exact title
Shit.
and the exact thumbnail.
Fucking tornado.
The only reason
bitch
for
ass.
anybody to do that is to.
That's pretty egregious too. Yeah, it
Let me out of your
does away
legs.
with any possible chance that you're not just replicating the content in commentary. Like it's like he's like a mimetic virus or like a plague, and if your video catches it, then it's like a doppelganger thing, just like a significantly larger version of the video with the same title and thumb, except he's there now.
fuse search and discovery and cannibalize views from the original. That is the only reason to do that.
Do you have any stats to back that up? I had stats of the opposite.
Dude, it's the thumbnail and the title. Don't you see that users will be confused?
Let me do something, Ethan.
Don't you think so?
My YouTube channel does not grow. It quite really doesn't. But you're thinking
Well, that's because you just post a ton of shit there. No, you don't put any effort into it.
Okay, and why do you think that is?
Because you don't give a...
Okay.
Clearly.
So, gotcha. So these are cut downs for the people that we call the YouTube vlogs that are just watching my shit.
Not your content, though. You don't get that right.
Okay, well, same goes applies to you then.
Oh! No, you haven't proven that. You keep saying that, but it doesn't mean it.
Okay, then show me proof you asked for permission, and where you got it.
Why? Now you're asking me to show you proof? Dude, you're absurd.
I didn't even use my super attack on him. Fuck.
You think it's crazy?
God
Dude,
damn it, I'm wasting my
The fact
shit.
that you're using the same title and the same thumbnail is so parasitic. It's so shady. You are only doing that to siphon off views
these
and
little
confuse
flowers
people.
here? Thank
There's
you.
no other reason for that. Why would you use the same exact title and the same exact thumbnail? Explain that to me.
Why didn't I collect it?
So are you more upset about the title or about the content of the video itself?
Well, it's the intention, dude. It's all together. You're intentionally confusing people to click your video instead of his.
Since you're all about legality, you would understand that intention is one of the hardest things to prove out there, right?
What the? Could we? We're not talking about proving your case to a jury. We're talking about the obvious logic of replicating thumbnails and titles. What? Also, it's not like XQC uploads these videos, his editors do. But he, of course, controls his editors, so that doesn't absolve him of responsibility. It just means that his intent is the relevant one. Why can't you debate people like this? Well, as we're going to see later on in this debate, XQC does have rhetorical tactics up his sleeve, to which I would have no answer.
Talking about philosophy.
Oh, I forgot to use my triangle, my hook to weaken their defense. That's gonna be nice.
Why did you do that?
Keep forgetting all the important shit.
Title and thumbnail. Just answer that.
Oh, because I wanted to.
Why did you want to?
Oh, because I wanted to.
Why did you want to?
Oh my god!
Because the thumbnail is good and it gives the viewer what they want.
Right.
And,
which is the original video. They want the original video.
Okay, so I'll tell you, since you don't like questions, I'm just gonna give you a fact then, right?
What the fuck is this?
That don't watch React
thank
content do not get served React content. If somebody wants to watch us react it, oh, well, I thought it being cannibalistic was a problem with you. Well, is it not?
You're gonna.
First of all, it is true that people who watch React content will be served more React content. But the critical difference here is that a person who engages with React content almost exclusively will have also had the opportunity to watch the original content if they weren't caught in the React content cycle. Like, it's kind of fucked up that there are two roads you can take, right? Where, like, one is you get recommended all these videos to look at, and you watch the videos from the original creators, and the other one is the React cycle, where you watch a bunch of, like, lazy pieces of shit, watch the videos, and they get far more views and attention and money, and add nothing to it, and it's just like all the effort went into the former group, but the latter group now is, like, that's dumb. Again, you know, it doesn't mean it should
What the
all
fuck?
be illegal. React content
God
happens
damn,
everywhere.
bro, leave me alone.
But, like, the cycle here, you know?
Try to say that the Google algorithm is somehow running deep for you. That's crazy. Stupid.
So you said that it's cannibalistic. I give you a hint on why it's not.
Well, it's the intention.
Okay, so if you want to just keep going back and forth and say, not there, not there, not there.
Okay, so you see no problem with it.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay. And if you added 20 seconds of commentary to his video and use the same title and the same thumbnail, you don't see any problem with that.
No.
Okay. There it is.
So it seems like
That's all you really need to say. It seems that you don't care about. It seems you don't not just care about the law. It seems like you don't care about people's artistic, creative property at all. It seems that you don't have any respect for property at all. IP at least.
It seems like
It seems like I'm a piece of
You're
shit.
a prolific thief. You could say, "Oh, I found one example of you doing this back in whatever year." You're a prolific thief, dude. You do this every day, multiple times a day on your YouTube.
Hold on, just out of curiosity, because I don't actually.
Oh, I gotta do this
visit
thing to unlock. Oh, okay, we'll let it run. I don't know I was gonna do that.
XQC's YouTube channel has
Forgot that was
2.3
a
million
didn't know it was a
subscribers.
totem thing.
Woman calls police to scare her boyfriend.
You light up
instantly
joint.
regrets it. XQC reacts to funny and relatable TikTok.
Damn.
TikToks. Audience hates bad writing, not strong when XQC reacts. Here's the thing with Ethan Klein, so that's that. XQC reacts to Mr. Beast, 7 days stranded at sea. H3 debate prep gets heated, featuring Destiny, Mahler, and ABBA. Destiny goes unhinged in discussion on Kai Cenat. I don't know what the context of this is. I can't believe Hassan said this. Kai Cenat. Okay, so apart from the Kai Cenat, it seems like apart from current events, it's mostly just XQC reacts. He has a second channel that's just for reactions. Wait, as opposed to this one, this isn't the React channel? The title's Karen's getting arrested, airport Karen gets put in her place. XQC reacts hard to daily dose of internet. Here's him reacting to this. Oh, I remember this one. Why men can't get matches on dating apps. And the video, where's the original video? Oh, here it is. The video is like 15 minutes. The original is 9. I saw clips from this where he like didn't even talk for the first minute, or maybe that was a different one. And then there's a whole other XQC reacts. And this isn't even like the shit on his Twitch, you know? There's a lot of Ethan Klein stuff here because he's mad at Ethan Klein right now. But there's not really much effort put into the YouTube channel or channels, right? Like he just does his shit on stream and other people. 39 minutes of him watching TikTok. Vosh, you have to stop crying so hard. You're right. I should be worse. XQC watches funny TikToks with chat for 35 minutes. I can't. Well, I copyright. Wait, is he watching himself react to TikToks? He's watching TikToks of himself.
Take me 20 minutes to do tech support to make audio work. Somebody talk shit.
Yeah, that's right. Read me that fucking score. Read me that fucking score. Read me that score. Read me that fucking score.
Holy shit. Chat. Guys, I don't know where to go to the chat. Guys, I'm gonna go to the chat. Guys, link.
I'm sorry. How can you guys watch this? Really though, like actually though.
Link. TikTok chat.
Yeah, it's the campus, man. You know, Midi Water has Midi Water died, and Dory Ball is the campus, not Charlie Castles. You Castles, man. You Monaco's. You Midi Boston. Yeah, no problem.
That was it?
Chat, there's one more. Chat, there's one more. No? The games, dude, I have a tournament of chip.
Coffee, spelled backwards, is EFOC, which is funny. It's EFOC, and it's funny.
Shit.
This got uploaded. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm reading the Necronomicon or something, where like the knowledge will like it'll like blind me. The songs will deafen me. I'll breathe the air, and the air will burn my lungs. It's like cursed knowledge or something. God, averages 50K viewers, by the way. And like the crazy thing is, I'm bitching about this, and I'm also one of the biggest streamers. Like this. is it like I'm complaining about this with it's like, oh man, he's huge or whatever, but the difference between him and me, like on a scale, is significantly less than between most streamers and him. So this is, yeah. Oh my god. Oh, all right. Okay. Is React content used to get like average 100K before? Well, like people grow up and like people move on to a new dumping streamer who just like. No, you know what? I was about to make fun of Kai Cenat, but I've seen Kainet streams, and while I feel he's annoying, at least he does stuff. There's a whole different. Whatever. Okay, let's just move on. We're not even halfway through this. You thought we were getting out of this, didn't you? You thought that there was escape. You thought that freedom was on the table.
YouTube channel.
You thought.
Gotcha. So I will go to somebody's house, say, take something, and he doesn't care, right? He generally doesn't, and never reached out. And you go out there and you go and seek the victims out, right? And you failed to establish a pattern of them being cannibalized the way they
Well,
do.
there's just one. I mean, one is enough, isn't it?
Okay. In that case, it puts the burden of proof on you as well. Then,
What?
So you have permission. Yes, because I think
I don't need permission to transform content, dude.
Okay, so one of the videos that I have, but there's 4 of them, so you guys see all of them. If you have proof, you ask permission to any of those, you win the landslide.
Why would I need proof to transform a video? I mean, the only one is me, Canyon, because he's my buddy. There's obviously ones where, like, it's obvious we're your buddies. I actually did ask me, Canyon.
Oh, it's obvious. So I
Shell
you understand that on
Basher,
Twitch
let's
too. There's people that
go.
everyone's friends with, and like.
Kidding me? He saw me already. Come on,
this
bro.
guy,
Come on.
I mean, Vince.
It's not that
serious.
serious.
So you're making assumptions about me, but we're not making assumptions about
Not
you.
an assumption.
Oh my god, man.
All right, let's go.
It literally does remind me of like arguing on like the playground as a kid, you know?
And I have a literal message from the guy you stole from. It's not an assumption. It's literally a fact.
Okay, so the whole reason why this debate was in the first place is that people were finding victims that didn't exist. They're saying, oh, this is a problem for people. Okay. So you found a person who doesn't like it.
Yes.
And there's multiple ways out.
Actually, he even specifically named you as the problem. He said the other people actually clouded me up, where XQC completely stole my shit, added no valuable commentary, and then stole my views. That's specifically what he said, actually.
So the guy's a problem, and instead of reaching out in any way, shape, or form, he waited for you, the savior of the earth, to come in and just Robin Hood it and just be a guy that I got you, bro. Why? Why?
Do you really not understand the concept that small creators wouldn't want to start shit with XQC, one of the biggest, with the craziest fan base in the world? Like, is that really a foreign idea to you, that they wouldn't want to deal with this power dynamic? Like, you would crush them if you said anything. Your fans would harass them into oblivion. That's too foreign for you to understand?
So this guy, 400K subscribers, big YouTube videos, small creators that's about to die from something. Ethan is here to save the day. This person will now be able to.
Jeez, he's so pathetic, dude. Holy shit. How can you, like, this is the reactive instinct.
I gotta get a
of
lot
people
better.
with incredibly fragile egos. It's that if you're ever better than them, or if you ever criticize their behavior, they basically just go, oh, because you're so perfect, huh? Look at you, Mr. Perfect, Mr. Klein, Mr. Perfect Klein, coming in here like Robin Hood. I don't like following his logic, it hurts. He's not making logical arguments. It's purely like an emotional thing, right? It's like a reflexive defend the ego kind of thing, and that's it. Like, there's no, yeah. Didn't he also go through a breakup recently? I don't know anything about that, but even if that's tearing at his emotional state a bit, like, he's an adult, and that's not an excuse for this behavior at all. And frankly, if he acts this childish with her, then good for her. And I mean that too. Like, this isn't just he's being annoying. This is like legitimate mental regressive behavior here, okay?
To afford some food and eat some rice tonight. Well, I'm just saying, because if you try to make a portrait, if you draw a picture on who this person is, and you say small creator, like struggling and whatnot, you should be, I'm saving him, and
He's
you're
going through a common law marriage lawsuit. Oh, so it was a common law marriage, not just a breakup? Oh, goddamn, that is a lot. Still, I don't withhold my criticism.
Or just
So
right. You are misrepresenting.
So he doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, he does matter, but
Okay.
not in the capacity that you're trying to paint.
Which is what? I don't understand what you're saying.
A small, struggling creator, somebody please and help this person before
yes.
he goes out of business.
Well, no, I didn't say any of that.
Shell Basher, good. I need to redeem myself. That was a
Actually,
trash
literally
fight.
did not say that.
You said small creator, that's enough.
Well, okay, I was upfront about his sub count. I looked at it. But anyway, let's see.
My bad, I was just wrong. I was just mega wrong. Let's move on. Let's
You
go
have
on.
been this entire time. It's fine.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with this thread because he actually gave you permission to perform this analysis. Internet archivist. He said,
It's anarchist. Ethan, if we're gonna be buddies, you have to know how to pronounce the ideology I pretend to believe in. Sorry.
Got one over there.
He said, I let
Another one over here
XQC
too, right?
Post a reaction to see the impact it had.
No, just that
Okay,
guy
and
over
the
there.
analysis is basically the video witnessed an
Yeah.
87% decrease in impressions on the day of the re-upload. Okay, and the video also witnessed a 52% decrease in viewers on the day of the re-upload. So I mean, of the evidence that I've seen, then it actually shows that it has either a negligible or potentially even a negative.
Oh, you were following me.
effect
What
on
up,
the
pussy?
original video.
So
And actually, he even made you change the title and the thumbnail. So why do you think he asked you to do that?
Not to mention, you can tell from the time codes here, the original video is 1525 and this one is 2011. So adding, I guess, like 30% of content in time, like you've lengthened the video by 30%, which isn't inherently bad, but I would be willing to bet that most of this video plays uninterrupted, and then at 1 or 2 points he stops and goes on tangent. You know what I mean? Like I'd be willing to bet that it's mostly just the video uninterrupted or minimally interrupted.
Damn it!
With a tangent or two.
I can never
I
avoid
could be
that
wrong.
attack.
I can totally be wrong. That's a guess. Just a feeling I have based on knowledge of XQC.
XQC. He said, don't use the same thumbnail and title. Why do you think he asked you that?
Because as a creator of the IP that you like to say, with your
Because you siphon views from people, dude. It's so obvious why you do it.
You ask a question and you answer for me.
you're not
If you
being
want,
honest.
you can have a monologue if you want to. Just mute me and just go on a fucking rant. But if you want to ask me a question, you have to listen to the answer. Here's the answer. He controls the IP. He wants to be different, right? And he wants some changes, and he spoke to us, right? So instead of crying and being a little bitch, it seems like
Vince. Vince is crying to be in a bin.
See, notice again how XQC is like, dude, if they have a problem, why is it that they haven't told me? And then when somebody does say they have a problem, he's like, oh, what a bitch. There's no way of winning with him. If you DMCA him, his community will attack you. If you say nothing, he'll use your silence as an example that nobody minds behavior. And if you do say something, he'll call you a bitch and his community will attack you. There's no way of winning with him. Yeah. Guys, he just needs a few more $100 million and he'll be done.
Bitch, is that what you're saying?
That's all I said. You're putting my words in my mouth.
Well, I don't know who you're talking about.
Is this Twitter or what?
No, I don't mean to. I'm just wondering who you're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay. So then, like I was saying.
Who the fuck was that on my radar?
Get
the fuck out of here.
I think he understands at least that there's some positive.
I
to it.
keep forgetting about my
Not a lot
triangle
positive,
attack.
And some of them
The hook.
can actually do better.
I could
right?
weaken
Didn't
them.
show any positive.
Okay. If it was only negative, he would have asked us to take it down and would have done that, right?
No, he left it up for the experiment, and he said, do not use any of my other videos without my permission. He literally told you that.
So, it's a social experiment at this point. It's like
Robin
an
Graves,
experiment. So
Poppin'
now-
Lecter,
Now it's the
Joe
guy's
too.
experiment, and he's only letting it because it's an experiment now.
Oh, wait, well, I
Thank
showed you proof it had a negative effect. Do you have proof it had a positive effect?
No, you didn't. No,
What?
You didn't. You absolutely did not.
I got you,
So
baby
show
girl.
the steps again?
Sure. So, explain how this is good. He said, I'll let you describe. The video witnessed an 87% decrease in impressions on the day of the re-upload. So,
Hey, Ethan,
explain that dub to me.
Go ahead, Ethan. Do you, in your position, have a time machine? Answer the question. You do not. Gotcha. Since we're going to do the whole, I'll answer for you. You do not have a time machine, right?
Prove it.
It is impossible to know how the video would have performed and how it would have went down in its natural curve over time, right? Whether I watched it
That's
or
an
not.
assumption. You have no proof. I have
See,
proof.
all you need to do to ever make a point against XQC is have a time machine. If you don't have that, sorry, Bucko. Again, notice how inconsistent he is, how fragile he is. At every level, he moves the goalpost. So at first it's, I don't care about this, and hey, if they have a problem, they can reach out or DMCA me. But then people do reach out and DMCA, he calls them all bitch ass, and he's like, well, what about the good to me host yet? He doesn't have any evidence for the good of him re-uploading their content, of stealing their content. But you can't prove there's any bad unless you have a time machine. Like, it's nothing. Like, there's nothing. It's nothing.
So you use...
I have analytics.
So one data set, right?
You have no data set. At least I have a data set.
Oh my God.
And also, you're the dude stealing content, so the onus should be on you to prove the great benefit of it.
Okay, I get what you're saying, okay? I find it a little bit dishonorable and a little bit disappointing that in the middle of a conversation about analytics, you're spewing words to your audience and mine about me stealing and whatnot, when we're trying to prove that. It quite literally doesn't help anybody. You're muddying the waters for no reason.
Unpack that, please.
Dude, okay, wait, this one I am blaming on Destiny, okay? Felix has been in the company of people who know how to debate for too long, okay? This is, you know what people say? The,
what are you bums doing down here?
is a dangerous thing. That saying is literal. As in, knowing a little bit about something, but not a lot, is dangerous because people will act as though they know more than they do. You're muddying the waters, you know, like you're moving the goalpost. We tried to establish this, but that is, Bro has no clue what he's talking about. Bro has no idea. Lil Bro, because he's 1 year younger than me. He's no clue. He's drifting. He's lost. He's hopeless. But he's heard other smarter people use these terms. In reality, like this is it's all an ego reaction. He's just trying to avoid accountability. When it would be so easy, you know? It would be so easy. But like this behavior is bad enough that it makes me feel like it's probably going to lead to some kind of negative reaction, even from his own community. His community is mostly half-wits and children, sure, but children and half-wits aren't all
it's
bad.
really good.
Also, them being mostly children and half-wits is not them being entirely children and half-wits. I'm sure there will be people watching this who think that this behavior is pathetic. I don't know if they'll stop watching.
Oh, that is good.
Does nobody know that most of the views a video gets in the first 24 hours? That is often true, but there are a lot of factors that can change that. First of all, a video can get most of its views in the first 24 hours, but then pick up in the algorithm again later. Sometimes, like, for some channels,
that looks good.
they just continue to get views, like, forever, basically, because they're really good at algorithm promotion, thumbnails, and titles. A Tom Scott video, a Veritasium video, there are channels where things, like, consistently, like, sometimes these videos are just around forever. Nile Red videos, for instance, like, are never not in my recommended feed, and they just always have more views than before, you know? And a lot of the videos that XQC steals fit in this category. The recent video that he watched on the walled city of Calhoun, for example, that one's probably going to be out there for a long time because it's got a good title, it's got a good thumbnail, it's not super temporal. People will always be able to engage with it, and stuff like that, you know.
Nice.
Also, again, from my end,
I'm a young scholar.
An argument
I read
of exposure. So even if like video number 1 comes out and it took like 100 hours to make and it makes such and such many views, and then a week later XQC releases his theft of the video, it gets the same number of views. Even if it doesn't detract from the original content, I still think it's kind of fucked that you can just re-upload somebody's shit for view. Like, imagine if it was a pure re-upload. Like, imagine if somebody made a video, got, you know, 1 million views, and then XQC just re-uploaded it, and then got another 1 million. Nobody would think that's okay. But it suddenly becomes okay if his face camera is in the corner and he goes, ah, that's crazy, like 4 times throughout the video, you know? And even if somebody would say, well, the second upload doesn't take away video views from the first of all, you don't know that. And second of all, it doesn't matter because it's still their content you're taking. And third of all, just you, like, come on, really? Is that what the internet should be? Just like, you know, the endless. And even if that wasn't the case, XQC still loses by default because of the internal inconsistency of his argument. Him saying, oh, well, if you have a problem, DMCA me or DM me, and then he attacks the people who do. So yeah, it's like unwinnable. I watched this debate and now I'm watching you react to it. Well, that's okay because Ethan Klein doesn't mind me watching it.
please.
Could you stop, please? Seriously, I mean it. It's gonna get really bad. I don't want to do like the whole insult ad hominem thing.
What?
Because you're doing that.
It's just a
What?
statement.
No reason.
Unpack
Stop.
that, please.
To prove that, it quite literally doesn't help anybody. You're muddying the waters for no reason. Could you
Unpack
stop?
that, please.
Could you stop, please? Seriously, I mean it. It's gonna get really bad. I don't want to do like the whole insult ad hominem thing.
What?
Because you're doing that.
It's just a statement of fact.
What ad hom? He didn't do any ad hom. And not only did he not do ad hom, I don't even think he did an insult. Bosch, you're also adding transformative commentary, as evidenced by the fact that when I upload this, it's going to be like 16 hours or something.
So,
Not an insult.
okay, I mean, okay. So as we go forward, you are bald. You're very bald. You're balding. Your hair's thinning, and it's great, which means that you're old as. Got it. Okay, shall we continue? Is this fun?
The premise is faulty, my
What
friend.
the f is going on? Also, Ethan's hairline is fine. It's pretty strong, actually. All things considered. What is going on? It really is like arguing with the kid, you know, where they get upset and they're like, oh, so we're doing this? Well, you're ugly and fat, and like all you were doing was saying like, hey, can you not take my pencils off my desk without asking me? Like, hey, you kind of took my pencil. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, like.
Is this fun
I have
for
a
you?
beautiful hairline.
Baldy.
Does have
Is this fun for you or not?
I'm having trouble with the premise. It has a striking resemblance to you trying to argue other points. It literally has no premise at all. It has no basis in reality.
You're just throwing insults for the sake
Go ahead,
of
I'm
doing
gonna be
it.
quiet.
He hasn't thrown any insults. You're throwing insults.
Don't
for no
do
reason.
it.
He's not.
Don't
He's
jump.
making fun of you.
What are you doing?
For Felix is doing the literal definition of an ad hominem, which is you make an insult instead of addressing an argument, and that's exactly what he's doing. The projection is insane. It's insane.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, I don't know if you've done any statistical analysis in the past. I don't know if you've maybe had a stat class. Do you have any experience with statistics or not?
Go ahead.
Stats. Do you have any experience?
I do. I had to take multiple stat classes for my degree. I'm ready.
Do you have any experience with statistics or not?
Let's go back over here.
What does it matter?
Okay. The curve of a video and on how it performs, that looks like a natural curve, right? You can see it's already going down before I watch it, and it keeps going down at a certain rate past it, right? Do you have any proof or any indicators that the video would have performed poorly or better after the reaction?
So obviously,
No time machine. No time machine, Ethan. I will say this. I don't actually know if it can be proven that re-uploading content takes away views in the immediate sense. That is to say, if there is an already existing pattern of view accumulation, I don't know if the re-uploading of content will disrupt that curve reliably. Though I think you could fairly argue it would disrupt like future bumps in algorithmic engagement, you know? Because then there would basically be two identical videos out there, and if anybody had the like internal algorithm tags that would lead YouTube to recommend that particular video,
That's
it
just
will be,
confusing
like,
me.
one or the other, and now like
Thought I was being smart, you
competing with
use them as
another nearly
borders.
identical video put out by a larger channel that has the same content in it. So the answer to this is that there's no way of really knowing in any specific case without having access to YouTube's algorithms, because only by having access to those algorithms could you directly analyze the extent to which the React version of a video would be recommended to future viewers versus the original content, and nobody has that information except YouTube, and they're not going to settle this dispute. Of course, that'd be ridiculous. So I've made all my arguments. I don't feel I have to prove anything more to my side of the argument. I think XQC's behavior here is embarrassing, but I want to be clear that like, while I think you can make lots of strong arguments on this side of things, there's no factual analytical way of determining this outside of like a really expansive study of many videos that have been reacted to and re-uploaded, or having access to YouTube algorithms, and neither is possible. So XQC's goal here is to set a standard of proof that needs to be proven that nobody can prove, thereby exonerating him.
any data that we do have, which is of course just one, definitely proves that if it did have an effect, it's negative or negligible. And as the guy who is right? I mean, you certainly can't say that this helped the video. Are you actually arguing that a 87% decrease helps the video, XQC? That's really what you're arguing to me right now. That's awesome.
I'm in the middle.
So we're gonna go ahead and have the conclusion that you did not have a statistics class at all.
Well, I understand your point, but like, but it's not making any sense. How is it that a 52% decrease in viewers is a dub for you?
Because it could have been a 65%. It could have been a 65% decrease.
Could have been.
It could have been worse. Yeah, could have been.
Okay. Do you have any proof that it would have been or wouldn't have been? Do you have any data behind that or not?
That's, I mean, dude, that's such a silly way to try to deflect from this really compelling data.
Because in my data sets, I have a lot of data sets, a bunch of them, and all the video curves have the same.
It seems to me that you're looking for any excuse, any out to justify you stealing content from people, even in the face of data that suggests that it's not okay.
And here it comes.
Bosch, this might be tangentially related to this, but I'm autistic and I know you're in my chat, and I had a strong desire to be moral and reasonable. Then I used to believe every other person was always honest with their arguments, and this guy reminds me of the horrible people I constantly wanted to talk to in good faith. People like XQC right now ruin my brain. Yeah, actually, engaging with people like XQC are actually a really great reminder for like a hard pill to swallow, like a really rough one, which is that a lot of people just do not give a shit and will say literally anything, and your engagement with them, like the goal of arguing with XQC is secondarily to prove him wrong and primarily to make him look a fool, because it's not as that like it's like playing chess with a pigeon, you know? The goal of playing chess with a pigeon is secondarily to win the game and primarily to get the pigeon off your board. Only so much you can do, really. I saw this this excellent video from some ordinary guy. Hold on, Udahar.
Oh.
And sometimes our designers are taking stuff way too close to the source, and I agree, it's not okay. Here's the part. So does my editors, which makes us now equal on that topic. So you can still sometimes, so they still use the company. When one of the red top guys gets it wrong, with designers.
The goal of debating people like XQC in a tertiary sense, of course, is to not stay alive.
When the man fails to compile data properly, like somebody who knows what he's doing, you make a conclusion based on one piece of data that you don't even understand. Is this a way to perceive it for you or not? Is this a way to argue and have
Fuck, man, goddamn pussy.
What's going on here? I don't get it.
Me neither, dude. You're trying to tell me that a significant decrease in views is a dub.
Ethan, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just lost 16 viewers since you've talked. Clearly, you're robbing me.
How do you know that you're not boring? Maybe you're the boring one.
Oh, you're saying it's impossible to know because we only have one.
No, I know. You're definitely more boring.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
that's a
it only activates when I get into tier 2. Am I getting hurt? Shit.
You're very talented.
Oh, thanks, man.
So I'll say this. Ultimately, I'm pretty perplexed by this conclusion that I guess negative data, even just one data set.
Okay, I got you. You know what, dude? You want to go? I really didn't think you would bite on the data thing because you were gonna get clapped, right? But since you want the data, okay. I mean, even though you're the one that has to prove something that's negative,
Before you do that, can you do me a favor? Read number 3 of his stipulation.
Which stipulation?
Hold on, Dan will pull it up. Yeah.
Holy
this is one of his
shit.
stipulations.
What up, kitty?
Use a different thumbnail for excuse reaction video. Any direct combination of the
What's
video
up?
to minimize.
I'm sorry, I'll read it because with peace and love, I don't think many people
What's
understood that. Use a different just being fair. Use a different thumbnail for XQC's reaction video to prevent any direct competition with my video and to minimize viewer confusion. Direct competition, viewer confusion. Even he thinks so. That's why you use the same title and thumbnail, bro. Why are you denying reality?
Well, that Valorant accent, I just lost fucking 16 views again. It's kind of crazy.
It better be funny or something, bro.
Well, I'm just telling you.
React harder, XQC.
The way it says you, bro. Hey, listen, you're the guy who sits like this in 20 degrees and does this.
So the transform.
So that would be an example of an ad hominem, since the debate is about transformative content, and XQC's response is you slouch.
Transformative nature is about
you like sitting on my
how
little
straight you sit. Got it.
Oh, Ethan, you want to talk about amount of transformation?
God
on a
help me
little
if I ever
footstool?
get in a debate with somebody
It's
like
alright.
Felix, because there's a 100%
You can sit on a
if they
little
know me, they're
footstool.
gonna do the thing Destiny did with the fingerless gloves, and
Come
they're
here.
gonna be like, hello, Vosh.
Come here, come on. You can sit on a little footstool.
And they're gonna do that every like 10 seconds
need
or
a
so.
message.
I'll be undefeatable rhetorically. I will not
No.
like. It's over for my channel if that happens.
Almost true. No. Come on.
I brushed it incorrectly. So. He's just gonna.
All right, I don't know where the
well,
fuck these
compared
clues
to
are.
Felix,
I
am
got 2
fat.
out of
Dude's
5.
Pretty skinny, so you know, in a comparative sense.
And if we want to move on to that topic, let's just get some of your I think your wife's old merch.
Let's go up here.
Right? Which is a
Oh,
direct
yes. I
one
love
to
this
one.
topic.
I saw that. I've seen it.
I'm
And some
sure
of the
you
arguments
have.
you had against it. Oh my God! I think I changed the angle by 16 degrees, and I changed a little bit of the gamma color on this one. That's very transformative. Okay, Ethan, I'm gonna watch your entire thing, not react in any way, shape, or form. I'm gonna change the color of the gamma and
Oh, let me
opacity,
destroy that,
and I'm gonna rotate sideways. That's very transformative,
enemies?
right? Ethan, come on.
So let me ask you, before I address that, and
What?
I'm happy to, I'm going to address everything you said about Teddy Fresh.
Go ahead.
What does it matter if I'm a hypocrite? How does that affect this conversation we're having?
That's an excellent question. So, appeals to hypocrisy. You know that saying of mine, which is okay. First of all, what Ethan is doing right here is the rhetorically correct move. When you're arguing with half-wits and bad faith actors, they will often try to distract from the subject by pulling it into another unrelated subject. The discussion on Teddy Fresh with somebody as thick as XQC could take forever, right? The goal is to constantly distract and divert. Unless hypocrisy is directly relevant
God
to a
damn,
point
I got
that
a lot
you're
of coin
making,
for that.
I don't think it's relevant to like the argument about the morality or behavior of a specific case. So a good example of this would be if you have a roommate who does like no chores or whatever, and you also kind of shirk on your chores but not really, and you're like, hey man, can you like do the dishes? And he's like, yeah, like you swept under the couch last week like you were supposed to, it's still dusty down there. Technically they're correct in that you should have swept under the couch when you were asked to, right? But that doesn't have anything to do with them washing the dishes, does it? What they're trying to do is do this like, well, if you're bad, I'm bad, we're all bad, don't worry about it thing. But that's not really a solution to the problem. So what you can say there, effectively, and that's exactly what Ethan said, is, okay, sure, that's great. Do the dishes, man. The only time that the hypocrisy is directly relevant to the argument is if you're making an argument about tendency or disproportionate bias. So examples of this would be if you are somebody who never does any chores, but somebody fucked up a little bit and did like a little bit less than they should have, and you're like, hey, you forgot to do this thing, and meanwhile you don't do shit, that other person is well within the right to say, hold on, the disproportionate focus on my laziness compared to yours is
Okay.
you do so much less than me. Sure, I should have done my thing, but
Nope.
you're distracting, like you're pulling away from it. Basically, you have to find out whether or not the hypocrisy is the accusation of hypocrisy is an attempt to move the discussion away from where it should be. You know what I mean? Like another good example would be this, right? If there's somebody who is a Catholic and defends the Catholic Church and everything that it does, and they accuse you of being a groomer because you're okay with Drag Time Story Hour, leaving aside the fact that Drag Time Story Hour does nothing to harm children because it's literally
Oh, I got
just
that
having
clue.
shit read to them in a library or whatever.
go over here and
you
get
can
this one.
sidestep the argument entirely. Don't get into an argument on Drag Time Story Hour. Just point out how disproportionate the circumstances are, how they're pulling away from it. Like, bro, you've raped like 5 million boys every minute, and you're gonna talk about drug. Some dude wears a dress in a library, and you're like, oh well, clearly we've established moral equivalence with my empire of child rape. Like, yeah, make fun of them for it. So essentially, determine whether accusations of hypocrisy are meaningful or if they are meant as a distraction. Does that make sense? This is why I've so often said that all conservatives have to offer are like vague accusations of imagined hypocrisy, where rather than addressing anything they do, they'll just go, oh, well, you do this, and like they'll try to get you to fight about
I
it,
got
and they'll
that.
drag you along
Nice.
for hours and hours of meaningless
Next
content.
one.
They know they're doing it too. They know they're wasting your time. XQC knows he's wasting Ethan's time with this Teddy Fresh thing. It doesn't have anything to do with the conversation. He's just trying to waste time. Sorry, I know that was a long one there, but yeah, I find it important to bring that up.
genuinely, because we're talking about the philosophical nature of taking people's videos, right? And I'm having this conversation with you, but instead of answering the question, you're constantly deflecting to prove that, no, I'm a bad guy. And I don't see why you would do that other than the fact that you don't have a good argument to argue the substance. Like, why do you keep deflecting? What does it matter if I'm a hypocrite?
A good thing to say is also, I'd be happy to discuss that subject after we're done with this one. And if you say that, by the way, they're never actually going to talk about that subject later because they don't actually want to talk about it. They just wanted to distract from the subject.
Ethan, you know sometimes you send it like a tweet, and people still comment on it and say, "There's
I know
still
where to go
debaters."
now.
Ethan, there's still time
Give me
to
the goods.
end the call, and you go about your day, okay? Before you say something really dumb shit, okay? When you're out here saying, "What is it?"
What?
Better than that I'm a hypocrite. I'm just saying, when you say, well, dude, what's the better than that I'm a hypocrite? Well,
No, I'm genuinely curious, but I'll answer the Teddy Fresh before you do your
It
monologue.
discredits all your points and makes you look
No,
like
it doesn't. No, I'm genuinely curious. No.
You took the high
XQC,
road
no, I
for
really want you to
public
answer it.
protection, and you fell on your face flat.
Okay, I see the defense break.
No, it's an
Nice.
interesting philosophical question.
I think XQC's reaction here is actually perfect because how upset he got is evidence that it was just a distraction tactic. If Ethan had then engaged in like a 40-minute discussion on Teddy Fresh or whatever, XQC would have happily bantered that. Oh, look at you with your problems, and you have the audacity to bring up mine. But Ethan's like, no, f that. We're talking about this. Let's talk about this. And and XQC has an autistic baby right now. Like, yeah, it's evidence, I think, to what the intentions of that distraction really were.
Okay, first of all, the Teddy Fresh thing. So Teddy Fresh is a company with 30 employees.
I think that he could just say, I'm happy to discuss it with you after. That's my go-to. I think it works. If they want to, if they really want to discuss it, you can. That's totally fine, but not as a distraction.
And by the way, I love whenever someone's losing a debate to me, they bring this up. It's literally the lowest hanging fruit. And if you know anything about me, you know I've talked about this 1,000 times. But I'll address it because you brought it up.
Go ahead.
We have like a whole team of
people do this with me all the time with all the
Oh,
stuff
this
that I
is
get
easy.
clipped for, right? Where I'll be having like
Nice.
a 2-hour argument on like race realism, and they'll be
Let's
like,
go.
oh, you're a pedophile, and I'll be like, oh, well, you want to talk about? Well, you're going to end up agreeing with me that child slavery is bad, but let's do it after this conversation. Like we'll talk about that next, you know.
Damn, that was it, no
Always-
boss?
It's always when they're losing too. They
Oh,
never.
there
do
we
it when
go.
they're
Come
winning.
on,
I wonder
asshole.
why. I wonder why people do that specific tactic reliably every time if they're on the back foot, but when they're on the front foot for some reason, they actually want to stay focused on the topic. I mean, hey, for the same reason that I don't want to distract from the topic when I feel I'm in the front foot, you know? It's just pure, like, nihilistic, winner-takes-all politics. No beliefs, no values, just power and prestige.
Designers. And
Oh, shit.
sometimes our designers are taking stuff way too close to the source. And I agree, and it's not okay.
Give up. So does my editors, which makes us about equal on that topic.
Oh, here we
so
are.
You can still sometimes when somebody gets confused at the company, when one of the sweatshop guys gets it wrong. Hold on. Oh, my bad.
Shit.
When my editor gets it wrong. Oh no, we are thieving.
Hold on, let me finish my point.
Yeah, bring out Hila. Hey, bring him in.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Come on, birds.
Hold on.
Your husband is bald.
My husband looks awesome.
Dude, my hairline is. You really? Okay, dude, the fact.
Why would you? What of all the things to accuse Ethan? Why not call him fat? No, I really like. You shouldn't anyway, because it's an ad hom. Why bald? Look at how little forehead he has. His hairline comes down right. His hairline couldn't possibly come any lower without it looking weird. Any lower, and he'd be a 3-head. And he's older than Felix too. Ethan is like what, 40 or something, and Felix is younger than me, 27, 38. I don't actually know how old he is. I just don't. I go by decades. Okay, you're 30 or 40. I'm 30, but I don't have white hair, so he has to be 40.
You're coming for my hairline just proves how delusional. That's a metaphor for all of your arguments. Okay, Teddy Fresh, we have designers, right? And it's a
Nice.
We have a fairly large company. This is a common problem in all streetwear. We've had designers who have pretty much close to stole designs. We fired people over it, and every
that big
time it
bitch.
comes up, we have company meetings and say, guys, this is unacceptable.
See, he didn't want
If
to talk
you're
about it.
caught doing this,
Doesn't
you
care.
will be fired.
And we've
Oh,
made
nice. I
a
got
strict
fists.
guideline, and it doesn't happen anymore.
What have
it
you
hasn't
done?
happened.
Okay,
What have you done to
okay.
prevent it?
Okay. So this
Okay.
is really good. You
Okay.
done?
Okay. That's what you sounded like.
Is he done or? What
No,
the fuck
he's
is
done. You
happening?
can talk. He's done.
This is
I'm
like
just
a
being
child.
silly. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't know how you put up with this shit. I would leave his ass. Anyway,
You're, bro.
moving on.
I'm having a third child with him.
Isn't he getting divorced like right now? Are we perhaps projecting some issues at the moment? Oh my god, dude. Third child, bro. I'm very happy for them. I'm always rooting for my boys, Mila and Ethan, even if only one of them's a boy. He was married, like common law marriage? That's what Chad said. I'm no expert.
No,
Oh
you're
my
getting
God.
divorced. Wait, XUC didn't even say we're getting divorced yet. Go ahead.
XUC is good.
You know, our 4-year-old though would love your giraffe. I don't know who you got it for, but our 4-year-old would love your giraffe in the back.
Don't buy it. It's
Ooh,
what you're
placing me
practicing
right in the
originally.
air. I like that.
like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very cute. Okay, so let me just.
Sorry, Hila came to defend Teddy Fresh because you're talking about her
I
business.
actually wasn't planning to come in, but you brought up Teddy Fresh. Listen, then talk to me, because I'm the person running Teddy Fresh, not him.
Yes.
You want to talk about it, talk to me.
I understand, Hila.
Okay.
And the reason why I brought up that point, okay, is
Notice
that
how immediately he runs it back. It's like, oh, wait, shit. Wait, you got shit to say about my streetwear brand? Better talk to my wife. And you get like nervous and start sweating.
Oh, nice.
sometimes some things happen where it's somebody else's fault, it's a mistake, it's a whatever, right? And some things just gonna happen, right? It's just kinda
That is
human nature.
nice.
And
I
there's
like
lots of
that.
time.
That's bullshit.
And the question is, what do you do about
Yeah,
it?
what are you doing about it on a daily basis?
I took action about it,
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Since
So
things
so
came
go.
up online, people pointed out to us. We had meetings at the office. We made guidelines. When we work with new graphic
What are you
designers-
doing about it? That's the question.
What are you doing?
Okay. So if you guys stop bombarding and you actually listen to the
This
answer.
isn't bombarding.
Answer.
I'm
Stop with
talking.
the
I'm
posturing. You
defending
don't
my
need to-
company.
You don't just answer the question. You don't need to do these. These like, if you'll stop interrupt, just answer the question, bro. Nobody cares.
Fine. Okay. I'll answer the question.
Okay.
Meek.
So what you are agreeing with me is that sometimes, right? There's gonna be a mistake. There's gonna be something that somebody doesn't want,
Daily
and you'll
basis review.
Go on.
And you will rectify it after the fact, in hindsight, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
What we did is not okay. You continue to do it on a daily basis several times.
It would be different if I came here and I said, I don't care. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm distributing to those guys who made the original graphic.
That is a great point. Even if two sides have both made mistakes, there is a significant difference between acknowledging it and trying to move forward with it and doing what XQC does, which is where he lies and
Kitty,
downplays it and sends
what's
his
up?
audience
Come
to
here.
people who
Come on.
criticize him over it. Slight difference.
Come on.
Maybe.
Come on.
Possibly. There might be. Maybe.
I'm making it
Go
a lot
on.
better while I'm sitting in a Gucci shirt, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that was like $1,000. Here's what it is.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why.
Yes. They do well.
Yeah, there you go.
You could own a
Nice
private
and
jet
comfy.
and might actually. I don't know if he does, but he could if he wanted to. But what is that? What? Oh man, dude, I
You
was
got a
so
little
mad. I
spot,
was at
too.
Nordstrom's. For those of you
I
who don't
know
know,
Essence
Nordstrom's is
Stones.
like mostly pretty pricey, but
Where's-
they also showcase
where's my
brands
new
that are
Stones?
very, very pricey.
I don't-
And I was looking at shoes to get, and I was looking them over,
I
and
don't
I don't
see
know
any.
anything about shoes. And my eyes scanned some, and I thought, whoa, that's like a
Whatever.
cute pattern. It was like this kind of gold, like brown with like a link pattern over the top of it and some design. I was like, oh, that's pretty. And then I got closer. It was the Gucci shoes. It was the Gucci shoes, and they were $1,200. They also had the Kanye boots, those like gigantic plastic boots that look like they belong to a Roblox character. I didn't check the price on those, but I'm sure it was like $5 trillion. And I don't think those.
Upgrade my wrist.
Maybe I just don't understand street culture. I don't know. Is the Gucci issue just that the pricier what? Yes. Yes, 1,200
Oh,
is
I
a
gotta
lot.
do that
That's a
last
lot.
quest.
I've spent 600 on very nice dress shoes before, but for sneakers that I'm gonna like scuff, 1,200. Also, I don't want to wear Gucci merch. That's so gaudy. I don't want to. Yeah, they were these. Sorry, just to get a photo of these, so you guys can judge me for my
What up,
bad
bro?
taste. If you
Took care of business.
let me find the exact ones. Okay, it's not exactly these, because these are only 800. They were like this. They had this pattern. See? Like this, the majority, the canvas had the pattern they have in their bags, or something like that. Really? Vomit?
What up, T?
I think the pattern looks quite nice, personally.
Lil'
I
T.
think it looks quite nice. I wouldn't pay $800 or $1,200 for it, or whatever. But
Give me a little air scratch. It is a new little spot.
So busy though. Yeah, well, you wouldn't wear them like
Mhm.
every day. You'd wear them if you had like
Yeah, see you, bro. You
regular
still
pair
been
of
there.
like canvas or black jeans and some like a white T-shirt or something. So the shoes would be the accent piece, right? Whatever. Never.
All right.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. It's completely.
See ya.
Those are unimaginably ugly. Really? Okay. Whatever.
Would bring that up, to be honest. That's kind of. You want to talk about
Wait,
low-hanging
what?
fruit?
I thought it was a good point because you're taking.
Because you're saying
Hold
that
on,
you
let's not
care.
muddy. Let's not answer the question. You do nothing to rectify it while we do. So go ahead. What are you doing about it on a daily basis?
Every single person that has brought up a negative point about the videos.
But you
about
don't change
everything,
what you do.
We have. Well, absolutely we have.
You literally said I don't care.
Oh yeah, but I still do the right thing though.
Which is what?
Right. Which is work to make better thumbnails.
What
better
the
description,
fuck?
And to better work with the creators that are behind the video, so that we don't flip them over and they actually gain something from it. Now, I'd like to talk with Kilo for a minute. So what you're saying is that you're repairing from hindsight, which is something that Ethan tried to get at me at, right? And then you brought the fact that we have 30 employees to help us out. Okay, fair enough. Then I, XQC, or whatever the corporate company, apparently
What are the
is,
combos
right?
with this?
Well, we only have like 2 employees, 2 editors, right? And help us out, guys. Like, this is so sad that we only have 2 guys. We're playing the victim card here, right? Well, they sometimes make mistakes too, right?
It
And
hasn't
that
happened
that
to us in a long
it's-
time since we took action. This just happened to you on a daily basis. Just.
I think the difference, if I can say, is that I've been listening, and when Ethan is asking you about this, for example, you don't say that this is wrong. The thumbnail, the the matching thumbnail and title, you say, I did it because I like it.
No, he says they're working on better thumbnails.
So the answer has changed now. If this is your answer, that sounds a lot better. You know?
The only reason why it's changed, okay, is that I'm trying to make a bold point for him to latch off the fact that he's on the high road. He chose the high road of the whole process, okay?
That's your problem.
When
Then I'm
you,
right.
Because it's an ego issue, right? The problem that XQC is having right now is that he's being directly
Yes,
challenged
Biddy.
from
Ow,
the
ow. You
like,
scratching
yeah, like
me. You
Destiny's
scratching
point,
my
if
good
Destiny
mesh
made
chair.
these
Watch
points to him
out.
directly, he would probably be really
What's good?
conciliatory. In part because
I'm
XQC
coming.
I'm sure
I gotta shut this
understands
shit
that
off.
you shouldn't debate Destiny.
Let me
You
let me
really
hit the
shouldn't debate
anvil.
Decline either.
It's
But
time for me to
also
get some
because he
goddamn
could do it
sleep
in the
anyway.
context of like friends.
I'm
and
coming, I'm
family.
coming.
You know, it's like how taking criticism from a friend is often a lot easier than taking
Yep.
it from somebody you
Here's
don't
a
like.
joint.
Because if you take it from somebody you don't like, it's like, oh, you got to defend every point. But if you're with a friend, you can be like, okay. So I don't think this would have meaningfully changed XQC's behavior because he's kind of a snake. But like, it's an ego. He shouldn't debate a plastic plant. Felix bumping into a plastic plant at like a Olive Garden or something and getting really worked up, and someone holds him back.
On
and like,
Earth?
hold on, man. You don't want to go down this.
What is that?
When you are on the high road, it is a thin road on the high road, okay? Because you have to be really tight with what you do, the things that you
Oh,
say,
Kitty, I'm
and
getting
how
a new
you
gauntlet.
act,
Where's she
right?
at?
I think he's doing fine. He's live every day for hours.
Please.
I can now unearth greater structures. Nice.
Okay. So now you're taking the high road, okay? You have to be really tight in how you operate, right? So we say things like, oh well, he does this and I never do this, right? Well, you are wrong, and I just told you.
You haven't proven that.
What? Okay, so the designs you stole. That's gonna be a thief. A thief.
Oh, yeah.
Piece of shit, garbage.
Yes, that was not right when that happened. Okay. It hasn't happened in a long time, and we actually made efforts to prevent it. You have not. You said your efforts to prevent it is better thumbnails and titles, bro. This is your example of better thumbnails and titles. This was 2 weeks ago. Same name, same.
Oh, got some
thumbnail.
free
I
gear.
feel like on a fundamental level, a big problem here is
Plus 3
XQC
offense, not really
probably
worth it.
Isn't a very happy
Maybe if
person
I
and
upgrade?
doesn't take much pride in his work. Like he's extremely wealthy. With like he has enough wealth that he could like influence elections. That like to talk about the level of money that he has, it goes beyond he can
this looks
afford a nice
cool.
house and 3 cars. And like he's like an institutional force potentially with the amount of money that he has. But he's content, or not even content, really, to just sit there and react to YouTube videos that he's given. And I feel like it's indicative primarily of kind of depression, you know? But rather than be constructive with it and try to like grow or find what would make him happy or to take control of his life or whatever, he just sort of sits there and with a degree of self-awareness does the absolute minimum, but still has the I guess, ego to get mad when people call him out in it. He's not doing great, man. Like, it's just indicative of a deep sadness. And I don't think money makes a person happy, but money does give people the resources and time that they might need to find happiness. And that is still meaningful. He could do literally anything in the world. He could do literally anything in the world with the money that he already has. I feel like this would, you know, I don't think he is aware of the idea that it's possible to do more than this. Or like, at least not on an emotional level, even if intellectually.
The guy you did the experiment said, change my thumbnail, change the name, so that my audience doesn't get confused and so that you don't steal my views. Why are you denying that? It's so obvious.
Yes, Kitty. Hold up. I got you. My bad.
So, like I said,
I'm gonna give you some snacks and nibbles.
Answer the question.
I know, Fitty. Hold up.
The question
Ow, my
is if
back.
you
Okay,
can
I'm
deny
coming. I'm
that you're
coming.
stealing
Shit.
the intentionally misleading audience to clicking your video.
Intentionally, that is not intentional.
How is? Oh my God. Is it possible? Is it
now,
possible?
Go ahead.
Let's say someone comes from your stream. They've watched you all day. They love you. They're a big fan. They watched you react to, let's say, Mr. Beast's new video. Okay?
Yeah.
And then they come to the homepage. And guess what they see there? Mr. Beast's new video. Do you think are they less likely or more likely to click his video after they saw it on your channel? Answer the question.
That is not my expertise.
Well,
more or less likely.
Okay.
No,
Let me turn in my quest. Hold on, Biddy.
One or the other. Two choices.
Less. Got him.
Yeah. Did.
Damn. So then
You're
Mr. Beast is...
that proves that you're stealing people's views intentionally.
Okay,
Thank you, bro.
so the views that...
I'm honestly surprised he answered that. It's not like there's like a standard of decorum he's adhering to. You know what I mean? He could just say whatever, right?
And the click rate in that particular instance, do you think that will end up being a raw loss of the creator or not?
Sorry?
Are we done talking about Teddy Fresh?
Yeah, if we're done talking about Teddy Fresh, it'd be better because I don't want to feel like we're ganging up.
Get out, thief, before I fucking Robin Hood this shit. Before I start splitting the wealth of your company to other people. Holy shit, I'm about to come at you guys for things and designs. Jesus Christ, bro.
You're being pretty silly, but ours is defensible. Yours is not. Or at least we've made... It's not defensible, but anyway, you know what? I mean, I don't see this conversation going much.
Guys, it is defensible thievery, guys. It's stealing in the right way.
No, I retracted that as soon as...
What I said about how oftentimes the accusation of hypocrisy is just a reflection. That like he clearly just doesn't want to talk about his shit, you know?
As I said it, right? What you heard. I said we've corrected the error, an understandable error, in my opinion, one that you refuse to remedy after time and time again. You provide me zero direct answers, and frankly, I think you know you're wrong, and I think you don't care that you're wrong because it benefits you greatly. You make a lot of money. You don't want to change what you do. And here's another thing. You're not going to be able to make 12 hours of content for Kick, who paid you $100 million, if you can't steal other people's content. Because if you don't, what the f are you going to do all day? Sit there and gamble? Nobody's going to watch that shit. Nobody's going to watch it.
People would probably watch that shit. I have no idea why people watch gambling streams. Like, that is something for which I have... It's not only like I don't get it. It's like I can't even arrive at an understanding. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. Mental illness, yeah? Eldritch influence.
This shit already. They don't care about you even having arguments. Clearly you're not very good at that. You lost 12 viewers, man. My views are very good right now, by the way.
So I think we need like a therapist to give us a hint on when the tantrum ends. When does it end, Ethan? It seems like when you go on these tangents, you go on a rampage, you just ramble and ramble without making any concise point or a question. Is it you're done with that shit? Can we talk like adults now or not?
I think this conversation has kind of been exhausted.
People would rather watch me full screen cam do the form than watch your prime.
Bro,
watch your
do
prime
it for
content.
a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many views you get. Oh, he's crying in the corner. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's original content at least. Yes, do that, bro. Do it. Dude, do a week.
Love it, man.
Bro,
this is the most money you've gotten in the past 4 years, bitch.
It's awesome. Do a week of no react content.
Oh man.
I would have no response to that rhetorical tactic were it applied to me in a debate. Ethan loses at this moment.
Oh,
Even a
man, oh,
day,
man.
even a day.
Okay.
Do
Ethan,
one
Ethan.
day without React content. I'm serious.
Hey, Ethan, let's see your wife's merch sales on the first wave when 90 designs were stolen.
90%?
Let's see the figures.
Wait, hold on. You're just being silly, bro.
Let me silly. Prove me wrong. Because clearly the burden of proof is on you now, right? Because if you make an argument, then you have to prove it. You go ahead, prove it.
You haven't even shown. I mean, what?
What?
Dude,
I don't have
you're
to,
being
you do.
silly, bro. You're being ridiculous.
Well, it seems like I have to prove everything, and you have to prove nothing.
That's
and you've
not at all what's been
nothing.
happening.
And you've done nothing except prove some defunct
All right, thank you,
email
buddy.
out of
It
some
was a
paid
good
actor.
chat. I think
Well,
that we've
I
done a
wasn't
good
done.
job at getting
No,
to the
there's other
heart
points,
of
though.
what you care about
Wait,
and
there's other
how you
points.
feel about taking people's videos. I think it was illuminating. I think we had a really good conversation.
Oh my
So-
God, it's Jover.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you have anything else interesting to say, so I think we can wrap it up.
Really?
He's
I
dead.
think your audience thinks I have something
Got his
to
corpse
say.
pissed
It's just
on
a-
by demon
How long
dogs.
do you want me to sit
Sorry
here
to tell
and
you.
Watch you crawl around on the ground like a worm. I mean, I,
I
have a
would
show to
watch
do.
that for more.
Unlike you, I actually organize and put work into my show.
I would
understand for
continue
you, you're
to-
just burning time. You could sit here for 12 hours. That'd make your life easier. You wouldn't have to go steal videos. But me, I planned this. I have a show. I have a schedule. This has stopped being interesting because you're just sitting there saying silly shit and doing the worm. So with that being said, thank you for calling. I feel like it was
Gotcha.
very illuminating, and I wish you the best, and I hope you have a great stream.
Gotcha.
Oh, one more question. I wanted to ask him, who is Mr. Chair? Mr.
Have a good
Chair is, here, actually, I'll show this. I wanted to ask him that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay. That was not going anywhere. But here, for the people still watching, here's him talking about Mr.
See, I
Chair.
have a concept in my chat called Mr. Chair. If I'm gone and I watch a video and I leave, Mr. Chair watches the video for me. And chat loves Mr. Chair more than they like me. Chat
I
hates me.
think that means that they like the original video, which the views of which you're stealing. But he's saying, yeah, I just walk away from my chair. My chair does the work for me.
They love Mr. Chair. Okay? And for them, that has value. And I think that can't be understated.
That the chair adds value. The chair. He said the chair, the empty chair adds value. How can I have a conversation with this guy? The truth is that he wants to be radically honest about what he's doing. He wants to say, I don't care about this. I'm doing it. I don't care. He wants to make $1 million. He wants to make $1 million exceptions. Oh, if they come to me, I'll pay them. Putting the onus on the victim to come to him, the biggest content creator in the world, where there's a huge power dynamic. The one guy I did talk to, Vince, says he doesn't want the heat. And of course, why would he, right?
And then later XQC is like slandering him and saying that he's a paid actor and saying that all these other people who spoke against him are pieces of shit. Yeah, so proving exactly why.
I mean, he's clearly not very stable to begin with. I mean, he hasn't slept in a day. And so, you
That's
know,
true.
sending him a complaint
Oh,
could
I can do
easily
all my
backfire
garb.
on somebody. And he wants to be radically honest about it, but when it comes time to explain what he's doing is wrong, he won't own it.
Yeah, that's true. That ultimately is the contradiction. He wants to be the devil may care, you know, like whatever, man, I'll do whatever gets me my bag kind of guy who just owns that he's kind of a piece of shit, but he can't do it because of his ego, because he is miserable and he does have a fragile ego, and so he can't do it. It's not possible.
What
You
the
could
fuck?
be either of those people, but you cannot be both. I think that Ethan Klein did a phenomenal job in this conversation. I think that he was incredibly calm, which juxtaposed well against XQC's building insanity. And I think that it's paid off well because in the discussion that I've seen about this, it has been 100% anti-XQC. Literally, like, across the board, every bit of discussion that I've seen online about this has been people hating on XQC, you know? Yeah, I think Ethan did a really good job. Yeah, the XQC subreddit has been giving him grief for it. Oh, we're gonna get to that, don't worry. Oh, we're gonna get to that. So, okay, after the conversation with Ethan Klein, XQC messaged him and they talked for a bit. And Ethan posted the messages. I don't know whether or not Ethan disclosed that he was going to post these or whatever. I think that
I'm gonna go to
generally
this
it's bad
one
to
and
leave
get these,
DMs,
get that totem.
But if the person who's messaging you is flaming you, or if it's in the context of a discussion and you're not posting like personal stuff, I think that there's like some exonerating.
Oh, I can press markers and see
mitigating
him. Nice.
circumstances there. From Ethan Klein. Well, actually, it's from XQC. We're looking at Ethan Klein's post, but these are messages from XQC. They're from Ethan's perspective. You know, the whole point of the show is that. Sorry. You know, the whole point of the show is the you actually discuss points, picking me out and then doing some echo chamber tweets about this stuff that you didn't prep for, some soy behavior, man. Cheers. I'm not going to do that again, but that's my attempt. I can't do the accent and the speed. I tried to go for the speed, not the accent. Ethan says K. Felix says Jesus, go back to bed, old guy. Ethan says, bro, you haven't slept in 2 days. You probably would have performed better with a nap beforehand. Felix said, zzz. If it was actually about actual truth, I would have just spammed the group chat full of files and made it boring. Gray hair Andy, completely corrupted. This man's mind is completely corrupted by the vat that he's swimming in. And then he posted some graphs. Ethan says, you are coping, my friend. Felix says, 50 plus unbiased sample size. Cope on this dick. You had one graph that proved me right. Again, it's this.
Gotcha. Stupid bitch.
Graphs, things. And then, and this is the best one, from Ethan Klein. This has 8 million.
Yeah, let's go.
And it only got posted today. Final message from XQC.
Give me that
I know
shit.
it kills you inside. You lost so much time and money in that lawsuit. So this is an example of an actual ad hominem. An ad hominem isn't just an insult; it's an irrelevant insult. Which one? I don't know. Whichever, really. You seem so bitter after it. I'm fine. Anyways, when the bills kick in and you're struggling, remind yourself you leaked DMs out of insecurity. And don't forget, I got your whole house on my wrist, kissy emoji. And it's this god-awful, ugly watch that probably costs 500 billion or something, I don't know. There is so much to break down here, like on so many levels. First of all, accusing Ethan of being bitter about the lawsuit, and then not even knowing what he's talking about. Like, he doesn't know what lawsuit or what happened. He's just heard about a lawsuit. Again, given the fact that Felix is apparently currently dealing with a lawsuit pertaining to his common law marriage, I guess this is a sensitive subject to him and he's projecting a little bit. Second of all, when the bills kick in and you're struggling, I know that literally everyone on Earth is poor compared to Felix. That's true. My understanding is that Ethan Klein and Hila are doing pretty okay. I think their content is pretty successful. I'm doing pretty okay, and they're a lot larger than I am. So I feel like that's probably...
Why is that anvil cracked?
You know, I think they're doing okay. And then finally, the thing with the watch, man. To be clear, I have no respect for people who buy expensive watches. And the reason for that is because nobody needs watches anymore. Everyone carries a phone that can track time more accurately than any physical watch because it's connected to the internet. They are worn purely as status symbols. And what's more, they're worn as the worst kind of status symbol, which is the kind of thing you think you should do because your dad did it and you have a vague understanding of what power, prominence, and masculinity mean and look like, but you don't know how to apply or translate it to the modern day, so you just ape ideas from different people, different generations. It's like a clumsy, crude, inept attempt at capturing what you feel will give you security. But it clearly doesn't. Oh, to be clear, if you think that watches are pretty and you want to wear them for that reason, go ahead. But that's not why he's doing it. He's bragging about the expense of the watch because he bought this watch because it's expensive.
I see
He didn't
it.
buy this watch because he liked it. He bought it because it's expensive. That's why he's talking this way. And it's out of insecurity. Exactly. Purely that. After a debate in which he was so evidently insecure, to go out and confirm everybody's belief so plainly, like with no self-awareness, is remarkable. I guarantee you that he, fuming after that debate and all the negative backlash that he's been getting, went to his desk drawer and put on the watch to take this photo. He's sitting on the carpet, for Christ's sake. Look at this. Does he keep his watch and his bracelet in like a trash bin? What he's sitting on the floor. He had to have taken this photo, like, to like epically own Ethan. You know, people are giving him a lot of shit for this, and 100% of it is deserved. I think that he's pathetic, and stupid, and insecure, and fragile. And I think he could be better. I think he could be better almost effortlessly, like, because he's so bad that it would be easy to be better than he is. You know, it's almost nowhere to go but up.
All right.
I suppose he
I'm
always
out.
could be worse.
That was some
but
good
clearly
gaming.
he's having some severe mental health issues, and he's kind of thinking out of it. I mean, we'll see if he changes.